Welcome to the VAFA William Buck SEN Match of the Day.
He has a bounce, he crosses 50, he pins the ears back, and he drills the goal! You can tweet that and hashtag it bloody good.
It goes high up and under the full foot.
Makes a name for himself with these long bombs from outside the arc. It's a long bomb from outside the arc!
Preliminary final day at Elsternwick Park is upon us. Last weekend, the minor premiers Old Brighton disappeared into the distance, winning through to a third grand final in 4 years in William Buck Premier. Today, we decide their opponent for next Friday afternoon. The Tunners, they defeated the Old Xaverians to get there. The Zavs taking punches and returning them with interest for 3 and a bit quarters of footy before Old Brighton hit the button and surged away. They'll make use of the second chance today, though. The Zavs, they play the reigning premiers Old Scotch. The Cards galloped past St Kevin's in the first semi-final last weekend to keep their back-to-back dreams alive. This is VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Finals footy on Community TV and SEN. Paddy Grindlay with you again this afternoon, and the two-time premiership coach of Elsternwick, Hugo Higginbotham, is beside me. Hello, Hugo.
G'day, Paddy. Great to be here. G'day, Paddy. Great to be here. Thanks, Buttons. That was really good. Preliminary final day, how good's this? So, in about 3 hours, there'll be one side preparing for next week and one side not. So, it's a great day. It's a tough day too. So, a day like today for both teams is probably nerve-wracking them being in the grand final, because at least you're in there, you've got a chance. If you lose today, you're out, you're done. So the emotion, the anxiety, how's everyone going to handle that? But what a great day. What a great call team we've got in here too. Wardy's going to be on, chewing it up a little bit. Petchy's going to be here soon. He's just waiting for the security guard to go down the other end of the ground so he can jump the fence, because they won't take pounds and pence to get in. So, but he'll be here soon and he'll be in great form. But well, how exciting, Paddy.
You did mention Daniel Ward. He's a man with a great amateur footy story. He coached Old Haileybury to 3 premierships, 1 in Premier C and 2 in Premier B. He led them to 5th position on the ladder this year in VAFA William Buck Premier. 136 games for the Melbourne Footy Club. He'll be leading the Sandringham Zebras in the 2026 VFL season and beyond as the Zebras stand alone. But surely it's Daniel Ward's greatest achievement of the year to be beside the likes of us in this commentary box on preliminary final day. Daniel Ward, welcome to you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Paddy. Yeah, it's a pleasure. You three have been holding down the fort all year, the dream team, and I get to come in fresh and take a lot of the credit. So I know there's a pecking order around here, so just looking to sneak in, play my role. Happy to be here.
14 degrees at the home of amateur footy at Elsternwick Park. We're expecting continuous overcast conditions, and there's a bit of wind going on as well. More from Raj Johnston in a moment about that one. This is the Saturday warm-up, all thanks to Mequicare, providing care for more than 16,500 people each week all across Greater Melbourne and regional Victoria since 1959. Our man Raj Johnston on the boundary. He'll catch up with both coaches, Old Scotch's Mark Natt. He's moments away. Old Xaverians coach Dan Donati shortly after him. And before we get stuck into both of those conversations, Wardy, thanks to Hit IQ and its game-changing Protect Concussion Management System, and you can use the code VAFA50, that's VAFA50, to get $50 off at hitiq.com. What were your takeaways from Old Scotch's first semi-final victory against St Kevin's? You're on the call for that game of footy. You're also quite familiar with Old Scotch, having played them back in round 18. What can you tell us about the Cards?
Yeah, thanks, Paddy. So we'll move on. I've obviously seen Scotch a lot throughout the year, probably culminating in that last game when we had to win, and whoever got through there was going to get the last spot in the finals. So they were really impressive that day. Probably more impressive last week. Obviously, I seen them last week against St Kevin's, and I thought, you know, with Sellers out in particular and some other VFL boys that they didn't qualify, I thought that St Kevin's would get it done last week. I put my hand up there, and I was really impressed with, everyone knows about their ball use and what they do to shift defences. They're a high possession team, but I was really impressed with their ability to put pressure on through the middle of the ground, their contested work in there to give their forwards an even look. Their backs were sensational. So, that's what Zavs will look to take away from them today, the ability for Cormac and the like to intercept down back. And then once they get it from their back half, they're really good at controlling it. It's really hard to get it back off them. So Zavs will look to make sure that their pressure's high and that they bring the ball to ground in their full line.
A 23-point victory for Old Scotch over St Kevin's in the first semi-final. They are, of course, the reigning premiers. They did it from 3rd on the ladder in 2024. Can they do it from 4th in 2025? The changes for the Cards, just one. Doug Lawrence returns at the expense of Nelson Troon. 15 premiership players out there from last year, incidentally, for Old Scotch. Those who missed out: Brodie Easton, Rhys Galvin, Jake Tawney, Ryan Walsh, James Brady, Tom Farah and Angus Jones. Let's now head down to Raj Johnston. He's with the coach of Old Scotch, Mark Knapp.
Thank you, Paddy. Mark, 2 losses to the Zavs this year. What have you learnt from playing them that you'll put into practice today?
Oh, they're a good side. So we know they have different modes the way they play. They can play fast. They can play an uncontested brand. So they're obviously a really good quality side. For us, obviously, we probably weren't at our best in either of those two. So, we're lucky we've got an opportunity today to see if we can amend that and deal with it.
So how has the last week been training and preparing for this game? There must be a lot of self-belief amongst the group that your brand of footy can stack up with the best and get you through to deep in September.
Yeah, listen, St Kevin's such a good side, and we played well last week, and certainly that was a good win for us. And the boys have got a lot of belief, and each week we've sort of we've taken 5th, 4th, 3rd. Now we're looking for 2nd. So we know we can do it, and we know our best is good enough. So it's about an execution.
Now, a bit of a question without notice. If you had to use one word other than roller coaster, we've had other players from your club use roller coaster, we'll avoid that one, to describe your season to date, what would it be?
Building.
And why that?
We're building momentum at the right time of the year. I think we've planned it really well. We knew what our availability was going to look like. We knew how to build our depth, and now we're hitting our straps, which is, you win premierships now, you don't win them in April or May. So I think we're building nicely.
We cannot wait for today's game. Thanks for your time and access, Mark.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Back to you, Paddy.
Thank you, Raj. This is VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Finals Footy on Community TV and SEN, and thanks to Old Scotch coach Mark Knapp for his time on the Saturday warm-up. All thanks to Mequicare. Hugo Higginbotham, your turn. Let's turn the page to the Old Zavs. They were in it most of the way against the Tunners. They lost their way in the final term. They conceded 6-1 after the final break. You've already broken this one down for us on vafa.com.au, but let's just cover some old ground, shall we? What's their path to victory today?
Yeah, well, last week, Paddy, was sort of defined by their pressure. So they were elite with their pressure for 3.5 quarters. But it was also defined by moments. They missed a couple of crucial goals, gave away goals from 50s, and then had a couple of injuries, like Phipps Parsons. That was a big one for them. And then after that, they struggled during the game, they struggled to maintain any scoreboard pressure. There was something coming back the other way all the time. So, and realistically, it was only the last 15 minutes where that game blew out. The big keys today, Spralia and Grant. That's a massive matchup because Spralia, he was playing on the bloke who got the Skins Player of the Day, Flockhart, last week, so he hurt him both ways. Grant's very good behind the ball, so there'll have to be a little bit of effort put in there. The other thing too was forward line function. Yep. It wasn't great last week. A lot of their goals were opportunistic out the back, running towards goal. So I'd like to see more separation between Delaney and McIsaac. I did notice McIsaac sporting the long sleeve jumper today. We haven't seen that, so that's new. So trying anything he possibly can. Also too, you don't need to beat Scotch's best players. You need to beat their system, because if you're focusing too much on your Tarrants and players like of that ilk, you'll probably let them get away in other ways. That McCormack behind the ball, he's been fantastic all year. You can't let him have his way with it down there. And there's some really good plays in every line in Scotch. So this is going to be a great game today, Paddy. Two differing styles. I want to see how Zavs bounced back from last week, because that was a pretty taxing game the way that went. So we'll know in about 2 hours, my friend.
Yeah, and we have counted the cost for the Old Xaverians since that loss in the second semi-final. You mentioned Sterling Phipps Parsons. He's out for today, and I dare say the remainder of the season with that fractured shoulder. Makuch Mohammed has been omitted. Sam Ralph and Will Goss return for the Zavs. Let's go down to the boundary once more. Raj Johnston, this time he's got the coach of the Old Xaverians, Dan Donati.
Thank you, Paddy, and thanks for your time, Dan. You kept the Tunners at bay for about 3 quarters last week before they took charge in the final quarter. What was the wash-up and reflection on that during the week?
Oh, look, it was a good week. It was a bloody good game of football. In the end, got beaten by a really, really good side late. We were super competitive. To be honest, I don't think we took enough of our chances in the first half, and we reflected on that. And if you don't get a lead when you've got momentum against an Old Brighton, you get done. So we took a lot of positives from it. Obviously, a lot of learnings from it as well, but it's been a really good week.
Now, you defeated Scotch on both occasions you played them this year. What will be the keys to victory to make it a third time today?
Yeah, look, I always look back on these things and you have a look at personnel changes. I think we've got 7 or 8 changes from last time we played them. I think they've got exactly the same. So, look, they've got a distinct playing style. They're a really good marking side. They take a lot of uncontested marks. They move the ball as well as anyone. They're a high possession team. So, we're going to have to try and nullify their possession game today and their marking game, which is easier said than done. But if we can do that, it's going to help us.
just how much would it mean to you and the club to have your hard work this season rewarded with a win today and a ticket through to the grand final? What would that mean to you and the club?
Oh, look, it means everything, to be honest. At this level, everyone that puts the work in, the time in, this is what it's all about at the end of the day. It's been 10 years since we played in one. It's been 10 years since we won a final, actually, as a footy club. So it means a lot to a lot of people. It doesn't really mean it puts pressure on or anything, but it certainly means the occasion means something to everybody. And, it's the boys are feeling it, and I'm feeling it, and hopefully things go away today.
Well done on everything you've achieved to date, Dan. We can't wait for today's game. All the best.
Good on you, thanks.
Back to you, Paddy.
Thanks to Dan Donati and Raj all for Mecca Care there. Simon Petch rounds out our commentary team this afternoon. Simon Petch, good afternoon to you in the room which has your name on it.
Well, I haven't put it over the door yet. Paddy, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Buttons. Nice to have Daniel with us today as well. Cal Cummins in the background here. Raj Johnston on the boundary and Hugo right beside me.
Yes.
Nice to be back. Beautiful day. Bit breezier than last week. Bit more overcast than last week. That ground out there is rather hard too. Might see some players with a bit of cramp by the end of the day today. And that breeze is blowing across the ground towards the Elsternwick Hotel, really. If any end is favoured, I would say it would be the Glen Huntly Road end of the ground.
It's an interesting breeze to read. For those who are joining us for the first time, Simon Petch, where does the breeze usually blow here at Elsternwick Park?
Straight down to Glen Huntly Road end of the ground. That's exactly where it goes, but it's going across the face today. So I don't know if Raj has seen the toss.
He always misses it anyway.
We'll go down and see if he's on the ball there, because it has been affected. I'm not sure who's kicking in what direction.
If you want to find him, look for a bloke in a suit.
Yeah,
He's the only one
best
here.
dressed boundary guy again this week, and there's no doubt about him. He's certainly lifting the class of us up here.
It's usually Matthew Donald who's the man in the suit who rocks up in the full three-piece, but Raj Johnston is really giving him a good old run for his money. We may as well go down to our boundary rider, Raj Johnston, with a bit of a conditions report and whether we've had a toss or not yet, Raj. Over to you.
Yeah, for that comment, Hugo, I'm going to name you last now. So good afternoon, Paddy, Petchy, Woody and Hugo. Great to be with you. Very exciting preliminary final day. We have had a toss. Scotch are kicking to the Glen Huntly Road for the first quarter.
There we go. Wonderful stuff. Conditions down there at Raj, you are facing the brunt of that breeze?
Yeah, I am. It's overcast, more of a breeze than there was last week, that's for sure. To the Glen Huntly Road end.
Come on, Raj.
You know the question I'm about to ask. How many goals?
How many?
I'm going to confidently put 2 goals.
2?
2-goal breeze.
Let's go with 2 goals.
Blowing at Elsternwick
We're going to
Park
hold you to that, Raj.
towards the Glen Huntly Road end, which is to the left of your radio dial or to the left of your picture on Community TV. Thank you to Raj Johnston. We'll be checking in with you across the course of the afternoon. A good time to also remind you that we are a dual cast today. Of course, we're on the SEN website and app and on vafa.com.au with an audio stream. Our man Bruce looks after that so well. We are also exclusively streaming video on Community TV. So you can visit communitytv.com.au. That's KOMMUNITY. And if you'd like to watch this game, but if you don't and you don't have a Community TV subscription, you can buy a monthly pass and you'll be looked after for, there. If you're here at Elsternwick Park, you can also enjoy our radio commentary in real time, all thanks to SEN Stadium's technology on the SEN app. So SEN Stadium on the SEN app, available for iPhone and Android. It works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. Gentlemen, we've got a big preliminary final up for us today. A wonderful game of footy hopefully awaits us. The Zavs taking on Scotch. The Old Xaverians, Daniel Ward, you've had a few looks at them this year. They've been a bit ahead of the rest of the competition really throughout the course of the home and away season. Do they come in favourites today for you?
Good question. There was obviously 2 clear standouts in Old Brighton and Old Zavs throughout the year. But for me, Scotch, I'll put my neck on the line. I think Scotch should be the favourites today because they're coming in with real momentum. They've been here before last year, as Dan Donati said earlier on. It's probably a little bit of apprehension from the Zavs boys about not being here and winning a final for a long period of time. And I also think the conditions, Hugo and I have been speaking all week about the rain and the monsoon that was coming. You'd love to work for the Bombs, seriously.
Yeah.
It's been raining all week and
you wouldn't have to go in, would you?
It's nearly perfect conditions here today. So I think that actually helps Scots with their ball movement. So, looking forward to the game. I think it'll be a fantastic contest, but I'm probably leaning Scotch's way.
For Hit IQ, Hugo Higginbotham, I want to ask you for your tip. I'll ask you, though, for a few matchups and players to look out for this afternoon.
Yes, well, Campbell Lane on the wing. He's a superstar. You really don't want him having his way with it out there. I'd be looking to, who goes to Charlie McIsaac. And I would also be looking to see if Cormac gets on as well, down a halfback for the Scotch. But the ruck battle, that's key for mine. Like, you expect Australia to come back pretty hard after last week. So there are going to be some good ones out there.
The tonners await. Will it be the Cardinals or the Zavs to meet them for Comwire IT? Industry-leading tech partners. Visit www.comwireit.com.au. Here's Simon Petch with the first quarter and the start of the preliminary final here at Elsternwick Park. Saturday afternoon, finals footy.
Thanks, Paddy. So umpire just waiting for the crowd to disperse, get behind the fence, and we'll be underway. So that breeze favouring the Glenn Huntley Road into the ground. That's the end in which Scotch kick in this first term. And we are waiting the rucks.
Just noticed Jack Brown's got the job on Charlie McIsaac down there. That'll be one to watch all day.
Doug Lawrence is playing forward into the side this week, so he's gone forward. They're going pretty tall up forward, Scotch.
So they started quickly last week against St Kevin's down at Sandringham. Will they do the same again today? Game underway and both rucks got a hand on it. And O'Sullivan got the first clearing kick for Zavs. Got it down, Galvin palmed it to ground. Zavs swoop here, here's Ralph. 50 out from goal, the scoreboard into the ground. And he's given the pass and the mark has been taken by Woodhouse. So straight out of the middle, and Woodhouse has got the kick. Scoreboard side of the ground, the breeze blowing across the ground, so the ball will drift across the face at some stage, but into the first 30 seconds, this is how Zav started last Saturday. First 30 seconds of the first term, Woodhouse. Scoreboard end of the ground, 45 metres out. Left foot kick, will it straighten up? It's come back, not enough, minus score. So Zav's on their way, one behind 1 point. Scotch yet to score for William Buck. We have gone just on a minute in this first term.
It was good by Zavs then to find that shorter hit up at half forward there rather than just bomb it in and make it easy for the defenders, which they did from time to time last week.
So here's our first look at Charlie Cormac then, the premier defender in VAFA, William Buck. He goes long to Pean Highway side, and there's a good early sign for Scotch fans. Sam Grant, contested mark out there, as opposed to Alex Spralia, Hugo.
Yeah, well, it's a good way for Grant to start, but we'll keep an eye on that one.
Short over the top he goes. Ben Hayes now on a storming run down the Nepean Highway wing. He goes looking for Tarrant. Dunn will close. Tarrant holds on. James Tarrant marks 50 metres from goal at right half forward. He's got Polkinghorn leaking into the corridor. Tarrant stops and props instead. He wants a lead. Jones is offering one, as is Lawrence. He goes for Jones. The kick is propped up. Jones has to wear the contact and did. Goss came late, clipped him across the back of the head. Angus Jones holds on. 3 goals last week. Daniel Warden, a big win for Scotch. He started brightly today.
Yeah, this guy got him going last week too. Kicked the first 2 goals of the game and was the fire starter for them. Really impressed there with Hayes' ability to play on. They went short. He got around Campbell Lane on the mark, got in quickly to Tarrant, who had a one-on-one and lowered his eyes to Jones.
So Angus Jones, it's been a long time coming for him. Over a few years of playing under-19s and Resi's footy. This is his 11th senior game on the season. As we mentioned, 3 goals, 14 disposals, and the Skins player of the game last week in the semi-final against St Kevin's. Can he open the scoring today for Scotch? On the William Buck scoreboard, Old Scotch 1 straight, Old Xaverians 1 behind.
So that was interesting, though, with Tarrant with that hit up. He had time and space there, Jones. He was on his own. You think a guy coming in off 3 last week would be a little bit closely attended to, but found that space already.
Yeah, we gave him Skins best on ground last week. I thought he was super. He only kicked 3 goals and maybe 14, 15 touches, but everything he touched seemed to end up in a goal. So great start for Scotch and Jones.
And he didn't guide that through either. He kicked through the ball there. He made sure that he connected beautifully. So good start to Scotch. They lead the way. 1 straight goal to Zav's 1 behind. Ball in the centre circles. The umpire says, give it to me, old ball. This one up. Hanson last to touch the footy. So back inside the centre circle. Ball thrown in the air, up they go. Spralia got a hand onto that one. Westcott there trying to get rid of it, can't do it for Zavs. Held up in the middle. by Jack Brown. Henry Brown will have another ball in the air, thrown in the air this time. Umpires picked out a free kick and Spralia takes it. Heard the call from Lane, gave the handball. Lane goes inside 45. McIsaac, he nearly reeled it in with one hand. Ball hit the deck and Easton was there. Handball off to Galvin for Scotch, who found Polkinghorne outside defensive 45. He goes commentary side to Tawney. He takes the mark. Scotch are on the move from defence. He goes to Gelbart. Into the middle of the ground he goes, over Barter's head. Out the back though his heart. Head over the footy for him, or Lane it was. Head over the footy and away goes Avs. Out of sight of the ground and Tom Dunn takes the mark.
So the switch from Lane, though, Dunn's not got many options down the Nepean Highway wing. He goes somewhat dangerously into the corridor and Gelbart went for a fly, but in front Hanson's pulled it down. The Zavs tagger did a decent job on Harry Hill last week. Gelbart thought he'd played on there, Hanson. Instead, he's just going to go back off his mark. Hout is standing in the centre of Elsternwick Park. He points him a bit further. The kick was intended for Simeopoulos. It drifted over his head. And O'Sullivan takes the mark 47 metres out, Hugo.
So it was just poor marking there by the Scotch players. A bit of a miss kick and it's fallen in his hands.
O'Sullivan, he's got a big role to play across half forward in the absence of Sterling Phipps-Parsons. He set it up for Charlie McIsaac and Sam Grant. Two early, strong contested grabs for the big V ruckman, and he feeds it into the back pocket and Scotch will come towards us, although the kick on the mark was smothered. Looked like Westcott applying the pressure. Not picks it up for the Zavs. His kick was dangerous. Brown Henry, that is, takes the mark. That kick's barely carried the required distance. The umpire pays the mark and Henry Brown from beneath the scoreboard, Simon Petch, will send Scotch forward.
So 5 minutes in for Conway IT. Vocal crowd out there today. Up they go. Spralia punched it down from behind. Head over the footy. Tawney nearly got it ripped off. Stavrou lost the footy. Ralph ends up with it for Zavs. The umpire's given Stavrou a free kick though. Scoreboard end of the ground. Breeze blowing across the face of goal. It goes way out wide here. That's nearly out on the full. And the umpire will ball it in. I think Henry Brown thought it was out on the full, but it's about to be thrown back in. Not a real good kick there by Stavrou.
Petchy, just on that, he had to go that wide because Sam Grant took the mark earlier, so he's blocking off the middle of the corridor, so they've had to go outside of Sam Grant.
Really forced him out there, didn't he? Grant palms that one down. Easton roved it beautifully. Handball came through to Cormac, who was brought to ground. Umpire said, give it to me, or a free kick going Charlie's way. So still down in defence here for Scotch. Underneath the scoreboard for William Bucket reads Zavs one behind, Scotch one straight 6. Kick up towards centre wing. Commentary side, Tarrant in from the side. Clark roved it beautifully. Handball not a good one. Hanson found Hart. Had the kick smothered on centre wing. Came back here to Tawney, who goes for the kick out of sight of the boot. But mark taken by Guiney here for Zavs.
Right shoulder strapped for Nick Guiney. Hugo, we know he's having an operation on that one after the end of the season.
He certainly is. He certainly is. A very, very good play for him today, though. Good intercept mark there.
He'll fight through the pain. Long down the line he goes. Brady, Jack in the pack. Big fist, though. Ganji cleans up along the boundary line. Broadcast side. Feeds to Ralph, who is bumped by Easton. Not over the white line, though. He retained his footing. Gave it to Stavrou, who gave it inside to Dunn. That's Connor. On to Charlie McIsaac. Composure from the Old Xaverians to find Charlie McIsaac there. Spearhead in front of goal, Daniel Ward.
Yeah, Easton will be disappointed with his effort there. He had the guy, he should have taken him over the boundary line. What's crucial here for Zavs is that their quick ball movement before Grant can get back there. So what happened there, he got it in quickly, McIsaac one-on-one, him one-on-one, he's going to take that more often than not.
A really rare, quiet day for Charlie McIsaac in the second semi-final. 4 touches, no goals, just one of 2 goalless days for the number 1 for the Old Xaverians. He can open their account right now. He does. 1-1-7, the Old Xaverians on the William Buck scoreboard. 1 straight Old Scotch.
So that was a great mark by McIsaac there, but there was space there. So last week we noticed that him and Delaney spoiled each other a lot. Delaney's actually started on the bench, so he's in the alternate rotation. So it seems to be functioning really well. The forward line, I mean, they're up against it when Grant gets a chance to get back there. But as you said, Wardy, as soon as they get on pace in that slingshot, they're able to control the ball.
Yeah, it's crucial. And someone to watch here for Scotch to watch is, we spoke about Campbell Lane. He's had a couple of touches early, getting the ball uncontested around the back. Benny Hayes has got the job on him, but I don't think it's all that tight. So they may need to look at that throughout the day.
So back into the middle, about to be thrown in the air again. 1-1-7 Zavs. Scotch on 1 straight 6 for Conway IT. 8.5 gone in this first quarter. Free kick to Grant. in the middle of the ground here for Scotch. Attacking to the Glen Huntly Road into the ground. Not a real good kick. It didn't favour Henry Brown. He took an eternity to get rid of it. Barter was there. Missed him. Came back. Scotch go forward again. Kicked at Clark, but he was just outnumbered or beaten by Fennelly. But it ended up with Clark, who goes to the top of the square. No mark taken. Farah! In the goal. Roved it beautifully and put it through.
Over to you, Hugo.
Yeah, well, he's one of my favourite players. Farah watching in the 19s a few weeks ago. He was electric there, and a beautiful piece of roving and dangerous there. But it was just that drop mark. Clark coming across. And good pick up by the big fella, and good vision, for dangerous spot too.
Yeah, drop mark, Clark got it in, and then actually a really good contest by Tarrant. He was outnumbered, but just to bring it to ground and give Hugo's boy an opportunity to rove that and kick the goal.
Get a contract for him. Get a contract for him, Wardy.
Yeah, that was opportunity stick because, Clark was behind.
So Jed Fennelly's got the match-up on Will Clark. He's giving up a bit of height there, Jed. Back underway we are in the middle. There's a blocking free kick. It's going the way of the Cards, and Barter just might run on with it. He's pulled down by Hanson as he tried to handball. Here's Farah again. That kick not as good as his last one. Went about 3 metres into the hands of Ralph, and Stubbings wraps him up in front of us, broadcast side wing.
I think just on that, Paddy, you're saying that Fennelly had to go to Clark. That's because Lawrence has pushed in to be that third tall. So then smaller guy has to play on a big guy like Clark.
The voice of Daniel Ward for Hit IQ. Back underway, broadcast side. There's another free kick going the way of Scotch. This time it's Henry Brown, who was held on to. He's got Grant short, he's got Lipscomb at centre half forward. Brown's going to go longer for the lead of James Tarrant. He got a hand to it. Alex Tregar rode him all the way legally. Campbell Lane picks up the scraps, feeds the handball forward. Indiscriminate in nature though, and Lipscomb chops it down for Old Scotch at right half forward. Here's Hayes. Flicks it sideways. They're trying to create another entry. The Zavs pressure is good. Lipscomb has to lay a big tackle. It's an effective tackle. The umpire will lurk and now will cross himself. He runs in 50 metres out at right half forward for Old Scotch. Will be thrown in the air, Simon Petch. 7 plays 12 on the William Buck scoreboard.
So a slower start here today than what it was last week. Zavs had 3 goals on the board, and down at Sandringham so did Scotch into the opening minutes of the game. So a lot tighter tussle down here today. Matchups are plenty out there. And we're down at the Glen Huntly Road. Nepean Highway side of the ground. Ball thrown back in. 48 out from goal. Srallia in front. Lipscomb roved it okay. Handball along the ground. Scott still had possession. Hayes is there, or went through his legs. Came back here to Stavrou, or to Ganji, who got a handball to Stavrou. Now we found Srallia. A handball, not a good one. And Cormac over the line sees it over. And we'll have a ball in. William Buck scoreboard. 2 straight 12 Scotch. Zavs on 1-1-7. We've got 11 minutes first term.
Just noticing a lot of one-on-ones out there, so we're seeing a lot of contested ball when you don't get that clear possession. So maybe a little bit of lateral movement to get away from that congestion if possible.
Clark into the ruck against Srallia. It's the latter who wins the tap down. Connor Dunn to Marcus Stavro, and the Zavs exit the stoppage out the front along the Nepean Highway wing, and it's careful, precise movement that gets them a mark down the line. Here's Delaney. Enter the game, Hugo. Started on the bench, as you mentioned. He runs up and kicks it long inside 50. Charlie McIsaac in a one-on-one. Here comes Stubbings across the front, unimpeded. McIsaac was engaged. He couldn't stop the number 35 for Old Scotch coming across the front of the contest. And here's this short kicking game. Noblett's going to be called to play on against his own defensive goal line. Goes back to go forward and finds Harry Stubbings again. So this is Zav's 7th entry for the quarter for only 2 scoring shots. You know, Scotch have only had 3 entries so far for 2 goals. So they're very, very economical moving forward, and they defend very well, Scotch. Barter, he played on somewhat dangerously, evaded one tackle and kicks it, well, terribly on the broadcast side. He gave Guining a chance to win the footy. He's got to do a decent old job here, Noblett. He's tackled off it. Might be the turnover here created by the Zavs, taken by Ralph. He kicks it up towards half forward once again. It took a wicked bounce away from Barter of Old Scotch, and might just wade his way through, or Bilston McGillen rather. He was dispossessed and tackled down, as was Barter. Connor Dunn has him. Still the umpire allows it to roll. Grant's getting involved. He handled it back into trouble. Noblett takes the tackle. He's thrown it between wing and half forward, broadcast side. On the William Buck scoreboard, it's 2 straight Old Scotch, 1-1-7 the Old Xaverians, 13 minutes gone in the first term. Simon Petch. Sorry, Wardy.
No, all good. Go Petchy.
Thanks, Daniel. And the ball under the... about to reach the scoreboard anyway. Barter held it up. It came back, and mark has been taken by Townsend on the full. Go on, Dan.
I'll say it now. So Stubbings, Scotch are really good at getting numbers back. So Stubbings was the off-ball winger that got back to take that mark, and then they work it out.
So Goss ends up with the free kick, goes forward there. But once again in the safe hands of Charlie Cormack down in defence for Scotch, and he took the mark. Got it off here, and Galvin's got it down in the goal square, down at the scoreboard end of the ground here for Scotch. We've gone 13 and a half minutes. They lead by 5 points, 12 playing 7. Galvin came out to Clark, to Grant. He takes the mark here for Scotch. Wants to go set a wing to Lawrence. Got there. No, couldn't hold on to that mark. Over him was Hart, and we'll have a ball up centre wing.
It's nearly a rope-a-dope a little bit. Zabs are getting all the inside 50s. Scotch getting numbers back. They nearly need to go in with them. They're wingers to push into the forward line and number off a little bit.
Yeah, it's the intercept mark game early, isn't it, Wardy, as this ball goes over the white line, neutral territory broadcast wing.
Zabs had this trouble last week too with those entries. They're just kicking to the spot rather than trying to find a player. So they've got to be a little bit more deliberate going forward. Find an extra handball for a deeper entry, so a dangerous spot possibly.
First term for Comwire IT, industry leading tech partners. Visit www.comwireIT.com.au. Sam Grant sucking in the big ones on the boundary line. He looks knackered already. He's got a big day with Alex Sprelly in the ruck. So reserve rucks to compete. Woodhouse at the front in front of Clark. Ducked his Bilston McGill and Gelbart got him. O'Sullivan came tearing in. Jake Tawney was left wide open. I think Jack O'Sullivan might have been lucky to have not collected Jake Tawney because it might have been a free kick against him. This one's going to be thrown in again between the benches, Hugo.
Tawney was lucky. We were in a little bit sore, but anyway, all's well that ends well, Petchy.
He charged right at him. Here's Woodhouse out of the ruck. A wobbly kick off the boot for Zabs, but Kizak nearly reeled it in one hand. He got it to ground level, got the handball to Semiopolis. Bilson McGillan there in support. He gets around, he gets the handball back. Here to McIsaac standing still. Semiopolis nearly out of play, was he?
Yeah, run out of space there.
Said he was right on him, and we'll have a ball in.
Kizak didn't expect that handball then.
No. He was standing still. He didn't have anywhere to move at all.
That's just pressure on pressure.
So in front of the small boutique grandstand set up down here at Elsternwick Park. Scoreboard end of the ground, thrown back in. Woodhouse palmed it down. Gelbart got a short kick. Farah got a handball. Clark handball to Westcott. Now they bring it out here, and the umpire's blown the whistle.
Yeah, it was a free off the ball.
Yeah, Townsend got dumped.
Henry Brown ends up taking it. Scotch, no, Goss has got him! Great tackle, Bill Goss. And he wins the free kick here for Zabs. And he'll go forward with the kick to centre half forward.
Ganji takes the mark as Farah closed in. Open forward 50 here for the Old Xaverians. Charlie McIsaac is screaming forward and he'll get it. Yes!
Great ball use. Great ball use. Give McIsaac a chance. Really dangerous when you can get it in quick like that.
Great tackle, Goss, though. To hold that ball up was a ripper.
And to deliver to McIsaac in space too. So Ganji, just I'm impressed with Ganji. He was electric last week, and that vision and just kicking in space where it opened up with the value of space. So he'll be kicking near that boutique grandstand.
Yeah, little boutique.
When was that built?
Probably last week, just before last week.
Charlie McIsaac for his second of the preliminary final on the non-preferred left. No issues.
There he goes.
And he pumps up the red and black faithful. And Charlie McIsaac and the Zabs, 2-1-13. They lead Old Scotch 2 straight 12 on the William Buck scoreboard. 16 and a half gone for Comwire IT in the first term. Daniel Ward.
This is really a game like most football games where you take your opportunities inside forward 50. So what it's looking like at the moment, both sides, how quickly you can get in there inside forward 45, if you like, at Elsternwick, before numbers can get back and outnumber the forwards.
So a good start here by both sides. 2-1-13 Zabs, 2 straight 12 Scotch. 17 gone for Comwire IT in this first term. Ball back in the middle. Woodhouse got a kick only as far as Hayes. Comes back a torpedo. Centre half forward. Heart marks on his chest. Handball out wide ahead of Ralph. Ball set okay for him. Had to get around. Oh, he got him in the end, but then he got rid of the handball. Goss a handball to O'Sullivan. High up and under kick. Galvin had a look. He went the fly, brought it down. Delaney on the ground, got the handball up. He goes out wider here. Now Woodhouse has got it. Zabs go forward again. Here's his Ganji man. He goes to ground though. And the umpires picked out a free kick and it will go Easton's way. He got him in the end. It wasn't high and he goes back to Galvin. So luck's a fortune there for Scotch. So Galvin down in defence. Scoreboard end of the ground inside the goal square. Goes out wide with the left foot kick. Out towards Hamish McIsaac. He couldn't take the mark, but he butted up. Bangs it back inside 45, and Hansen has taken the mark in front of goal here for Zabs.
Don't know what happened there. I'm not sure if Will Clark misjudged that footy, but it got out the back to McIsaac, who was able to lower the eyes and hit up inside 50.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of taking away the easy option, Zabs, of Scotch, which Scotch like. So they get a lot of players in. They'll give that 15-metre kick if they get the option. But you can see Zabs are really focused on taking away the easy one for that longer one down the line to cause a turnover.
So Hanson, 45 metres out from goal. Scoreboard into the ground. Breeze going across to the left as he kicks. He puts it on its way, and it goes that way too. Not that I'm much of a judge, but it didn't come off the boot that well. And it was probably always heading that way anyway. Zabs going to 2-2-14. Scotch on 2 straight 12 for Conwire IT. For William Buck for Conwire IT, 19 gone in this first term.
He's not your known goal kicker, Hart. He's only kicked, or Hanson, sorry, he's only kicked one for the season. So
don't expect him to hit the scoreboard. Scotch went for the open space on the broadcast side, though Goss gets involved as well, and Ganji and Westcott, and now Charlie McIsaac on the white line of the boundary, 60 metres out. He turns onto the left, delivers precisely into a dangerous position. The Zabs are lurking. O'Sullivan, one way then the other, turns onto the right boot. His kick bends. It doesn't bend enough. It was touched as well. Not on the goal line. Desperate tackling. A metre out the goal. Delaney's thrown a shoe at it. Has he kicked the goal? Yes, he has.
Jeez, McIsaac's on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
Not sure. I think the matchup's changed a couple of times, but yeah, he just looks very, very dangerous. He's had his hand in everything at the moment.
Well, in contrast to last week, you don't see McIsaac and Delaney anywhere near each other, whereas last week they were spoiling. So they've really worked on that to find that separation in space.
William Buck scoreboard, it's the Old Xaverians, 3-2-20, 2 for Charlie McIsaac, 1 for Ed Delaney. Old Scotch, 2 straight 12. And we've played 20 minutes in the first term for Conwire IT. 5 scoring shots to 2. Hugo, you're keeping count on the inside 50s. What are we at?
Yeah, we're at 12 to the Zabs, 2-3 to Scotch.
So that miss by Hanson ended up in a goal anyway to Zabs, so not a bad result. Ganji out of the middle, running through Guiney. Handball, not a good one, chopping it off. Scotch again back into Stavru, who spins one way, then the other goes out wide. Heard the call from Lane and gave it. 50 out from goal, he goes into the pockets. And McIsaac a long way in front. Takes the mark of Jack Brown and takes the mark.
Just on that matchup, so Jack Brown usually plays on the smalls. I'm not sure if he's the right matchup for Charlie McIsaac. So I think that's one that they need to have a look at.
He's had a lot of the football down in this forward 45, Charlie. He's really presenting a beautiful lead out today, that's for sure. Out of sight of the ground, just on the 45-metre arc. Charlie McIsaac into goal and he misses. In fact, didn't score. Out of bounds on the full, resultant free kick to go to Scotch. Zabs on 3-2-20, Scotch on 2 straight 12, 21 gone first term.
That's a let-off there. Because it's what we were talking about last week, scoreboard pressure. If they can, get it out to a 2-goal lead, and then it starts to build the pressure for Scotch.
So long down the Nepean Highway side, Fennelly and Tarrant flew together. Lane took the footy, handled it straight though to Jack Polkinghorn of Scotch. He sends it up towards halfway. Nick Guiney takes the mark on his chest, and he'll switch it quickly for the Zabs. We've had control of this first term for Conwire IT all the way through. Ganji on the broadcast side feeds it to the nice kicking Goss, who's kicked it into the hands of Stubbings, and Old Scotch, as quickly as they had to defend, they can now come the other way with Harry Stubbings, who's taken 2 bounces, needs to turn onto his left and put it up towards half forward. Farrow, though, he dropped the mark. He needed to take that one. Hamish McIsaac will clean up. Ganji's handball, though, battered down by Barter. It's a hot preliminary final. Inside 50 again. Go Old Scotch. Lawrence unloads. Connor done. It was a rugby tackle from Dougie. Gelbart's got it in the centre square for Old Scotch. He's tackled off his kick. Spralia, that looked like a throw to O'Sullivan. The umpire calls him to play. Now picks a push in the back out. Jack O'Sullivan will take the footy. How's the technique of Doug Lawrence, gentlemen?
Guys, this is the problem when Scotch are obviously under the pump in the middle of the ground. They're getting numbers back. But then when they turned it over, then they had no one to kick to because they were all up the ground.
Absolutely. He just had to wait and wait, Stubbings. So Zabs have it. Hamish McIsaac kicked to centre wing, commentary side, and in from the side, Charlie Corbett takes that mark here for Scotch. Right in front of the Zabs. coaching bench. He goes inside to Grant. He had nearly 2 bites. He couldn't get there the second time. Spralia ended up with it. Handball Hanson, handball Westcott, then back to himself, standing still. Now a chance here. Zavs go forward. A kick smothered off the boot, dribbles to 45. Brown's got it here for Scotch. Wobbly kick back into the middle of the ground, charging it down time. Tom Dunn goes to McIsaac. He's marked it again. 45 out from goal into the pocket.
In fairness to...
And Lane's got it.
In fairness to Brown there, he's playing on McIsaac. I think it was his brother that kicked it out of defence and just burnt the footy. And, you know, you can't really set up for that. You know, the two most dangerous guys out there at the moment look like they're Charlie McIsaac and Campbell Lane, who are getting uncontested footy. So they need to really fix that, Scotch.
So Lane taking his time out there. Nature Reserve side of the ground. Notice a security guard and a VAFA representative out there because there's a hole in the fence.
Yeah.
And we saw a few get through just as the game got underway.
You cut it.
Here's Lane into goal for Zavs. And he's missed. Gee whiz, they're missing some easy ones.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, Petchy, again. They need to build scoreboard pressure. They've had 15 entries to 4, only 6 scoring shots, and 2 goals that should have been kicked. So that could be 5-1.
Yes.
21-12 on the William Buck scoreboard. 24 played for Comwire IT in the first, and that poster's still shaking. Down at the scoreboard end, here's Stubbings out of the back pocket, searches for Noblet and finds him on the expanses. There at left half back for Old Scotch. Though Wardy, they're just not able to quite key together their short kicking game at the moment.
No, doing really well. They don't want to go down the line, so well done with Zavs and cutting off that inside kick.
Has to go long down the line. Noblet, Clark crashed the pack, picked up by Ben Bilston McGillen. Kick was smothered by Lipscomb. Polkinghorn has it, feeds it to Clark. He's just got to get rid of this footy. Handballs for the run of Farah, who takes the ball on the bounce. Fennelly closes him down as he kicks on the left inside 50. The roll harmlessly out of play in the left forward pocket for Old Scotch, though. They've got it to the right end of the ground, to the Glen Huntley Road end, which we should mention, Hugo, is advantaged by the wind at this time.
Yeah, 2 goals, Raj said, so he's a very good judge of that one.
A roundabout. Yeah, roundabout.
Could be 4, could be 1.
Could be anything. It's a swirly out there, really. Ball gets thrown back in by the boundary umpire, close to Scotch goal. Kick away by Ralph. Wobbly won it, found not. He then had to try and collect, but he couldn't. He goes into tackle. And Lipscomb ends up with the football and gives it back to the umpire. So down in their forward line here, Scotch. 3-3-21 Zavs. 2 straight 12 Scotch. Angus Jones brought to ground by Tom Dunn inside there. As Hanson's getting up gingerly. For Zavs, will have the ball thrown in the air again. Centre half forward. Spralia on his bootlaces. Got it, kicked it. Straight back to centre half forward there for Zavs. But the mark taken here by Jack Brown. He goes to play on straight away to Grant. And he marks centre wing. Between centre wing and half back here for Scotch. Tarrant makes the lead. Tregar's hot on him. He goes in that direction. Tarrant eyes only for the footy, went over his head. Clark there, but Tregar worked his way off the footy, kicks the ball out of bounds on the full, though, resulting free kick going Scotch's way.
Need to be more communication there because Campbell Lane had plenty of space on that far side wing. Tregar came back into where he came from, which was playing into Scotch's hands a little bit.
Did notice that when Sam Grant went behind the footy to try and play spare, Charlie McIsaac went to him and left Jack Brown by himself. So they were aware of the intercept threat of Sam Grant. Inside 50 go Old Scotch. It cleared the pack and Spralia fisted it to the 45-metre arc. He's now got 2 Old Scotch players hanging off him. 21 of those, the umpire will throw it in the air on the paint.
Just on that McIsaac matchup, Paddy, it's obviously a crucial one in this game, but Natty's hands are tied a little bit. Probably the best matchup's Charlie Cormack, but he comes off and helps. So sometimes you might have to play your best player on him.
Stavro cleared the zone for the Zavs momentarily. It comes to Jack Brown, though, of Old Scotch, and he goes to centre half back for Charlie Cormack, who's had a say in this first term for Comwire IT. 27 minutes down, 21 plays 12 on the William Buck scoreboard. The Zavs lead it by 9. Here's Noblet out of sight. He might run for the handball receive. No, he kicks it inside 50 instead. And it's not a great kick at all. Fennelly eats it up. And the Tigers VFL defender might horseshoe the ground here for the Zavs, or he'll go the P and Highway side once more. Simon Petch searching for Westcott, but he's turned it over.
So their defence is standing up here, Zavs. They're doing a good job in holding up Scotch, who want to score quickly. Here's Noblet in the middle of the ground. He goes with a kick to Lipscomb. He takes the mark inside the centre square. He goes long with a kick to full forward. Tarrant there, hassled out of it by Tregar. It goes through for a minor score. Body on body.
So Zabs are throwing more up around the contest around their half-back line and leaving Scotch players free at Scotch's half-back line. So it's turning into a bit of a contest to an intercept sort of fest. So no clear possession there, but Scotch have got more behind the ball.
So minor score there going to Scotch. Hamish Bakaiza kicks the ball back and he goes to Tom Dunn, who goes up further afield. Picked off here by Galvin. He can go left foot. He can go into goal! And he's kicked it. So all the way from defence, Reece Galvin follows the football down the field, gets on the end of it with a trusty left boot and kicks the goal there for Scotch.
First goal for the year, Galvin.
Yeah, might be, yeah. So he's, as you said, Hugo, Scotch's defence getting really high up the ground, coming forward to defend and try and lock that ball in their forward half. Great cut-off by Brown to actually intercept, and then Galvin was lucky enough to kick the goal.
The defence is squeezing up quite high when the Zabs try and push through. Back to the middle we go. 2-point lead for the Old Xaverians. 21 plays 19 on the William Buck scoreboard. Lipscomb's after the footy. O'Sullivan maybe into his back. The umpire calls them to play, and Lipscomb's a bit sore, holding a strapped right shoulder for Author Sport Victoria. Trainer jogging out to him. Lipscomb's going to try and play through this. He's a tough fella. Ball back in the air. Grant and Spralia sprawl after it. Neither could make contact with the footy. Barter's tied up.
It's a bit like last week for the Zabs. You know, they've had twice as many entries in 15-8, and there's only a couple of points difference. That's what I'm talking about, being able to maintain scoreboard pressure. They just haven't done that well today.
Thrown up in the centre square. Grant slaps it forward. Tracked down first by Guiney. He's got a problem. Angus Jones tried to tie him up, not before he got the handball to Lane. He was pressured off the footy by Hayes, so the former Collingwood VFL star just throws a shoe at it, advances it up towards centre wing. Connor Dunn is tied up by Cormac, holding the footy. Scotch will take the advantage. Here comes Ben Hayes, runs his full measure, dumps it inside 50, a one-on-one. Lawrence at heart, Dougie! Too strong!
Yeah, so fantastic work there from Ben Hayes. Not even the kick inside the forward 45. It was his effort. Campbell Lane's very good at getting uncontested footy on the other side. His effort to close that gap, stick the tackle, turn it over, and he resulted in kicking the ball inside.
So often we see Doug Lawrence at centre half back. He's kicked 4 goals this year, all in the one game against St Bernard's. 4 goals from 6 kicks in that game of footy. Mark Natt has thrown him forward this afternoon to create a size issue for the Old Xaverians defence, and maybe a strength issue as well for Doug Lawrence. He's directly in front. He's 25 metres out. He can put Old Scotch back in front. He's missed.
Looks sore.
Badly.
Yeah, he looks sore, and I think that's why they are playing him up forward, because obviously if you're sore, you're on 1.5 legs, down back, you're going to really struggle. So they'll look to get as much out of him as they can, but he looks really sore.
All right, so a minor scored. Len Huntley rode into the ground. 30.5 minutes gone in this first term. We've had 6 goals, course, kicked for this quarter already. And the ball goes back to the outer side of the ground. We'll have a ball up from the kick-in.
Yeah, Dougie Lawrence has had a knee issue. That's what kept him out last week. Natty was saying he wanted to give him one more, but he's still hampering him a little bit.
Looks like he's still got it.
Thrown in the air. Lane lost it to Hayes here. He threw it out and Hayes ends up with the free kick. No, Barter does. So 50 out from goal. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Barter goes to full forward. Lawrence at the back. Right on the siren. Couldn't hold on to that mark, and scores are level. So a quarter time down here at Elsternwick Park in the preliminary final. Xaverians 3-3-21. Old Scotch 3-3-21. That quarter going 31.5 minutes for Comwire IT.
After the break, we'll go down to Raj Johnston. He'll have his mic in the Old Scotch huddle, and then we'll hear from the coach of the Cards, Mark Natt. All that on the other side of this. Scores are tied in the preliminary final, 3-3-21 apiece.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members, and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8 at Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Tickets are on sale now for the William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final Day function. Friday, September 26th in the function room at Elsternwick Park. Enjoy the biggest day on the amateur footy calendar with a delicious sit-down lunch and hear from the grand final coaches ahead of the big match. Tickets are available now at vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
Quarter time of the preliminary final, the Old Xaverians 3-3-21, Old Scotch 3-3-21. Charlie McIsaac, the star of the first term with 2 goals, Ed Delaney with 1 for the Zavs. Singles for Jones, Farah and Galvin, a rare goal kicker for Old Scotch. Very shortly, indeed, we'll go down to Raj Johnston. He'll be listening in to the address in the Old Scotch huddle, and then we'll speak to their coach, Mark Nat. Let's briefly go, though, around the grounds, all thanks to Skins, because we are going up against the Premier B Grand Final over at Trevor Barker Beach Oval at the moment. 14 minutes down in the first term. Caulfield Grammarians lead at 2-3-15. Old Trinity 1-2-8. Both those squads coming up to compete in William Buck Premier Footy next year. Paddy Grindlay, Simon Petch, Hugo Higginbotham, and a very special guest in the special comments chair, Daniel Ward, the coach of the Sandringham Zebras, as the Zebs stand alone with you on the broadcast today. Raj Johnston on the boundary. Before we go down to the Old Scotch huddle for Hit IQ, Wardy, Hugo, where do you want to start in reviewing that first term?
Well, it was sort of a tale of two halves. I mean, Zavs are probably kicking themselves for some poor misses where they could have had some scoreboard pressure on, but the tale was in the entries. I mean, 15 entries, and it was about that way 3/4 of the way through the quarter, and Scotch owned the last 10 minutes, and then Scotch came back to 10 entries. So, but Zavs did a really good job of taking away that first easy option, and then Scotch sort of set up a bit better behind the ball and then started to open up a little bit later in the game.
Yeah, spot on. Look, they look pretty even across the middle of the ground. It's who can use the ball better. Obviously, if you can get McIsaac in a one-on-one before Grant or other numbers get the opportunity to come back and cut that off. Zavs look really dangerous when they're doing that. And on the flip side, when Scotch can get one-on-ones into their forward line, they've probably got Zavs for hide up there as well. So, interesting contest.
Very much is. And a reminder across the week, if you want to stay tapped into all things VAFA, listen into the For the Love of the Game podcast, the VAFA's official weekly podcast with myself, Jason Bennett and Matthew Donald, all the latest news, views and happenings from around the VAFA. Let's now go inside the Old Scotch huddle and listen into their coach, Mark Nat.
What changed from the middle part of the quarter to the latter part? You said it. Took control of it. Control. So I reckon we can probably use a little bit more width. We fell into the trap of that chaotic sort of ball through the middle, which is what they want. We don't really want that so much. Okay, so let's try and possess it a little bit wider. The other piece, though, is we're going to be taking our first option a little bit more, don't we? Right, so if it's there, see it, hit it, see it, hit it. Right, if we can get a bit of speed on ball, make them run the other way, it's going to put a lot of pressure on because they're very vulnerable. One-on-one v Taz, Dougie, Clarkey down there. Keep getting it into those boys, a little bit of space, and right, Taz will get it. He'll get the free kick. It'll come. It'll come. But have faith in our system. Okay? Backs a few times. I've just mentioned we got a little bit high. You know, they're sending one to Cormac. So wingers. Cormac's going to let his bloke go. Wingers, you're going to have to cover. He's 65 or whatever he is. Cormac then comes off, gives Brownie a 2v1 support on McIsaac. Does that make sense? Yep. Right, so we knew that would probably happen. We planned for it. We go and execute. Okay? We're +6 in midfield turnover. Right? And that's where. Now, if they've got those numbers around the ball, what do we do? What can we do? Ball security. It's ball security. We don't need the thing to ping pong out. We don't need that to happen. So your ball security, locate, and that's we don't allow through. I wrote here tackle efficiency. That first goal they got down there, 3 tackles they broke. That's not on. That's not on. Inside shoulder, get it done. Plain and simple. Energy work.
Thanks to Mark Nat for allowing us into his quarter-time huddle. Let's go to you first, Daniel Ward, your review of what he's got to say to his Chargers.
Yeah, great message from Natty. The 2 key points out of that, they want to gas Zavs out a little bit by dragging them out, taking them wide, getting him to defend. That's Scotch's one wood, if you like, using the footy and dragging out the opposition. Second one is obviously McIsaac. We've spoken about how dangerous he is. So Charlie Cormack will probably let, I think it's kind of done, number 65, go up the ground. Charlie will come back and assist Jack Brown behind the footy.
Yeah, need to get a message down at 80. Number 65 is kind of done.
Kind of done. He wasn't sure who he was. Yeah. We all say that as coaches. Get on him.
Get on number 65. Get on that bloke.
Raj was right in that.
Gee, I tell you what, just as well he had the Gus Logie, not a Joel Garner in his hand. Because
Let's go down now to Raj Johnston. He's just been joined by the coach of Old Scotch, Mark Knapp.
Passionate address at quarter time, Mark. It's all locked up. What were your thoughts on the first quarter?
Well, it wouldn't be anything other than passionate from me, would it? But listen, we had a good ascendancy early, and then back end in the middle though, I think midfield turnover cost us. We were +6 all there in their favour, which was disappointing. So we just got to possess the ball, have a bit more composure on it.
You spoke of effort, energy, and work rate. 3 important things. How do you do more of that in the second quarter?
Listen, they just need to work a little bit more on the outside and in transition. I think we were -11 in handball receives, which isn't our game, and wanted to see that improve.
Back to you guys.
Thanks to Raj Johnston and also to Mark Knapp for the access both into his huddle and to the man himself off the back of the address. Our second term is for Anytime Fitness, Australia's #1 health and fitness centre with over 590 clubs nationally and over 5,000 worldwide. When you join one, you join them all. Here's Simon Petch.
Thanks, Paddy. Nothing can separate these sides, although the score's just changed. Hang on, what's going on here? They've changed the score on the scoreboard. No, I don't know. I think they will be our level pegging. Anyway, quarter is underway here. Gelvin got a handball along the ground. Westcott picked it off. It came back, virtually went and started. Ralph's got it. Now Stavro. Zavs go forward. Glenn Huntley right into the ground, but Cormac hold them up. Then a bad handball. Goes in towards full forward for them. But Jack Brown's taken the mark here in front of McIsaac. Now we're back 3-3-21 apiece. So Jack Brown's got it. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground here for Scotch. Second term underway. Kick out towards outside defensive 45. And Clark takes the mark. Stood there tall. Goes with a kick straight away into the middle. Tawney heard the call. Gave a handball to Barter. One bounce through the middle. He goes towards the scoreboard into the ground. 2-on-1 out there. Jones will get there. Willie Tregar beats him though. Goes out over the line and we'll have a ball in.
Yeah, there was a kick to Taryn there, but he went the wrong way. Barter was anticipating to go to the pocket and he actually cut back in. So, but that was an amazing little hit up through the middle of the ground and just some pace and run and carry.
Scoreboard end, it'll be hurled back into play. These sides locked at 21 apiece. Clark into the ruck with Spralia on his hip. Tawney, big tackle on Tom Dunn. The umpire will lurk. The ball will spill free. Angus Jones is waiting for it on the outside. He'll get after the footy. The official has seen enough, though. He'll throw it in the air, 25 metres out from goal. Minute and a half down for Anytime Fitness in this second term. Scores were tied at quarter time. They're tied right now with 90 seconds elapsed. Scotch in attack, though. It's picked up by Simeopoulos. Gelbart tackles him off the footy. Spralia picks it up. Barter has him instantly. 46 metres out. We'll do it all again. Pressure seems hot at the Old Scotch end of the ground. Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
Yeah, the Scotch pressure forwards are doing a great job of wrapping those tackles up and keeping the ball in their forward line.
Clark won it down directly to Stavro. Gelbart has him. 3 stoppages in a row. I can't get this one loose, Simon Petch. Have a crack.
So great to have Daniel Ward here on special comments today and Hugo Higginbotham on comments. It's terrific to have them both with us in the box here today. A lot of experience right beside us. And we'll just see how the day pans out.
Yeah, no, it's getting better. It's getting better.
I like how Wardy said nothing. Speak softly, but carry a big stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Thrown in the air. Ball hasn't moved. Gelbart a handball, not a good one. Hansen ended up with it. Handball Westcott. He had to go right out wider here to get another handball in. It came back towards Woodhouse, who threw it over the line, really. He lost it and will have a ball in.
Don't want to get in the middle of these two and their banter. Just happy to play my role here on the end and watch the game of footy.
Yeah, no, that's all we're doing too, just throwing in stuff.
Yeah, I'm just happy you remember my name.
It's not a privilege extended to everyone in Simon Petch's life.
Cut it out. Thrown back in. Ralph, grabbed it out of the ruck. Spralia. Now a handball. Easton ends up with it and had to give it back. And Barter will take the free kick here for Scotch.
So here's Ollie Barter. Here's that short kicking game that Scotch loves so much. Brody Easton now with it, Hugo.
I was just going to remind Petchy I do have those chocolates in my bag for him too, for later.
Yeah, look at Rocky Road.
Have you?
Yeah.
Easton to 50 metres out. Tarrant's got Tregar riding him all the way into that contest. Tawney took the footy, fed it to Lawrence, who was tackled as he kicked it towards the top of the square. Clean grab, though, by the Scotch forward there. But he's taken there by Guiney. And the ball will be thrown in the air. 10 metres out from goal here. Old Scotch pressing. That was Townsend. Wrapped up by Guiney. Ball back in the air. Who can get after it here? Sprallier to Stavro, the old firm. Tackled off the footy. Lane takes it. Kicks beneath the despairing arms of Lawrence as he went for the smother. He clears the defensive zone lane, but not for long. Galvin got the handball receive. He's a big kick. Reece Galvin kicks it to the top of the square. Tarrant Nilly couldn't quite bring it down. They'll appeal for a free kick. They won't get it. Hart will fall atop the ball for the Old Xaverians in the forward pocket for the Scotch. Holding the ball paid.
Jeez,
a free kick to the Zavs.
Very unlucky there. Tarrant should have received the free kick there, and then holding the ball goes the other way.
Tregar rewarded in the right back pocket. 21 plays 21 for Anytime Fitness in the second term on the William Buck scoreboard.
And it was Tregar who intercepted there on Tarrant. He got the free kick in the end anyway. High up and under kick here. Zavs go forward. Connor Dunn goes with a kick. Found centre wing. Easton there. Got it out. Now Noblett's got it here for Scotch. On the back end of the centre square. He comes out to Hayes. He takes the mark. Goes up the ground towards the centre of the ground. And Barter. He marks here for Scotch. Now they're getting this marking game going. Goes out to Angus Jones. Still a long way from home. Into the pocket to Clark. Inside the 45-metre arc, but Fennelly just fisted it over the line.
I'm learning from Natty here, so obviously not a great decision there inside forward 45, but Natty didn't even blink. I would have lost my mind as a coach, so with him in front of us, I'm learning some stuff up here as well.
3-3-21 apiece, no addition to the quarter-time score. O'Sullivan for Zavs, down in defence, gave it to Lane. High kick towards centre wing, McIsaac goes up, brought it to ground, and a good tackle laid on Jack Brown brings him to ground, and we'll have a ball up centre wing commentary side.
Yeah, McIsaac was actually the deepest player up the ground there. They're playing very high, the Zabs, getting a lot in their back half.
Grant took it out of the ruck, kicked it on the bounce up to James Tarrant. He's just worried off the footy by Tregar, who goes charging in for a second occasion, and now Hansen or Goss will join in as well.
You'd love to play with Alex Tregar. He's a pain in the backside as an opposition coach and player to come up against, but you love his teammate.
Grant won the hit out, slapped it directly to Will Goss, who kicks it beautifully for Knott, who just about marked that one in front of Galvin, is paid. So Knott will turn quickly. Open space inside 50 for the Zavs. Where's Charlie McIsaac? Here he comes on Brown, off through the hands in the end. Jack Brown did well. Brady's now the support. He'll be happy with the boundary throw, and he'll get one in the left forward pocket for the Old Xaverians. Jack Brown just making, I suppose, some ground back on his opponent, Morty.
Yeah, it's probably, he'd be disappointed with the kick, McIsaac. He actually was out. And the kick just held up a little bit, and that allowed Brown to recover and make the spoil.
I think he's given away a free kick off the ball as well here, McIsaac, maybe, as Jack Brown's going to take this one. In the right back pocket, Glenn Huntley road end. Tries to get his way around. McIsaac kicks under the arms as he tries to smother. Sprallier should swallow this up, although couldn't quite hold on. Taken by Bilston McGill and kicks blindly inside 50. Fisted away from Simeopoulos by Brady, and they're wrestling in back play. Meanwhile, with Barter, he rages through the centre of Elsternwick Park. The kick was not much chop to Lawrence about, who is bumped off the footy by Hart. He's got a long memory. O'Sullivan and the Zavs take over. They'll go through the Nepean Highway wing.
So Ralph's got it out of sight of the ground, goes towards Stavru over the top there of Easton. Fell to Stubbings, handball Brady, got it back. Notting slipped through his arms. It came back out to Lipscomb, who got it to Stavru. Handball. Still on the ground here. Ralph goes in, tries to right a wrong. Wobbly kick. Hayes there. Bent down, picked it up, brought to ground. Good tackle laid on him by Simeopoulos, and we'll have a ball up. Good hard stuff there. Good possession of the footy. No one giving an inch. Inside 45 here for Zavs. Barter tried to get it out. He goes in after it again. Now O'Sullivan, high tackle laid on him, gets the free kick. So just outside the 45-metre arc. O'Sullivan's got it. McIsaac running around the goal square. He goes in that McIsaac direction. No, he doesn't. He comes back on. Delaney. McIsaac has kicked it through. Or was it Woodhouse? It's come off one of their foot, and Woodhouse is claiming it. So Woodhouse kicks that goal there for Zavs. That's the first score for them of this second term, and it's a goal. And Woodhouse has kicked his first goal of the afternoon, taking Zavs on to 4-3-27, leading Scotch on 3-3-21.
It's been a very even quarter. It's been played between the arcs, realistically. Only 4 entries each. And that was just a good deep entry to a dangerous spot with that surge forward into the square. It's very hard to defend that.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on from both teams.
So back to the middle we go. Delaney, well, he could have just about slowed up the mark, but Woodhouse on the spot also with Charlie McIsaac. A goal by committee, we'll say, for the Old Xaverians forward line. Here's Ollie Barter. Geez, he's been impressive. Yeah. 60 metres out, hangs the kick for Jones inside 45. Ollie Barter at his creative best there, Daniel Ward.
Yeah, he's been really good through the middle of the ground. I'm not actually sure if he's starting in the middle, but if he is as a half forward, he's getting up high and then getting back and getting involved throughout the centre corridor and driving them forward.
Yeah, a little live wire, isn't he, today? Ollie, yep.
So Jones kicked the first goal of the afternoon. As we mentioned, he was elite in the semi-final last weekend. This to tie the scores from 44 metres out, 45-degree angle to right half forward, sends it on its way. Jones has kicked 2.
Goal umpire didn't move.
That was a picture-perfect drop punt from Angus Jones. It was another Angus. It was Angus Simons in last year's final series who made a name for himself up forward for Old Scotch. It's Angus Jones's turn perhaps in 2025. 4-3-27 apiece here at Elsternwick Park in the prelim.
That was a very good answer. Nice quick one as well. Just that entry air Barter. He's got some wheels, hasn't he? But it was a good kick by Jones because that was a troubling distance still of that 40-metre one. And they're the ones that Zavs had struggled with early. So you've got to make the most of those opportunities in finals.
Thrown in the yes, centre circles again. Stavrou handball, O'Sullivan kick. Zavs go forward inside 45. No, it stayed out. Not was there. It bounced over his head, and same with Woodhouse. And now Scotch defence. Cormac brings it back into the middle to Grant. Oh, he couldn't mark that. Spallier did. He goes to McIsaac. And he takes the mark. Second bite of the cherry. Couple of mistakes there by Scotch. And McIsaac is the recipient down in that forward pocket.
Geez, you love to see all the Zavs players get to Woodhouse there. It was Australia, just for that kick. But that was a good contest by Australia there, and that's what he has to do with Grant, because Grant would usually eat those marks up. And they're always a dangerous kick. They're the best kick in footy, that inside 45 when they come off.
So his first look at Glenn Huntley Road here today. McIsaac into goal. He loved it. And he kicked it. That's his third of the afternoon, and Zavs kicked their 5th. They go at a 5-3-33, leading Scotch 4-3-27. And for Anytime Fitness, we have travelled 11 minutes in this second term.
Tough one for Jack Brown there again. You know, if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't be running off too much. I'd be starting with McIsaac even when Scotch have the footy. Because when there's a turnover, we just had a ruckman kicking it inside and hitting up Charlie.
So Spallier with a good moment there. Stavro wanted Goss by hand, but it's spilt through the number 31's fingers. He has to redeem himself with a tackle at centre-half back and does. We'll get a stoppage.
Just on that midfield matchup, so it looks like Barter's going with Stavro. So they've both got different strengths. Barter's using his wheels to leave the contest. Stavro is nice and strong at the contest.
Daniel Ward with us for Hit IQ. Bilston McGillen tumbles a kick up towards the broadcast wing. It's turned over and Harry Stubbings takes it for Scotch awkwardly on his preferred left up towards Jones. It just about bounced off Angus Jones's face. He's like a terrier after that footy. Couldn't grab control of it though. It's taken by Hanson of the Zavs, who goes to Stavro, and here come the Old Xaverians along the broadcast wing. The handball play is broken up. Woodhouse is tackled by Gelbart. And the umpire will come in to throw it up just next to the logo, Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
Yeah, I'm really liking the work of McIsaac and Delaney today. They're very, very far apart. There's a lot of good separation on the ground, which they struggled with last week. So they've clearly worked on that one, and it's paying dividends.
Interesting. Sam Hanson starting this stoppage next to Ollie Barter. There's a little bit of a delay in play for a blood rule, I think, here. One of Barter or Woodhouse it's going to apply to, both making their way off the ground. Jap Lipscomb comes in for Scotch. Jack O'Sullivan will come on for Woodhouse, and he is the offending player.
Hugo, what are our other options other than Jack Brown for Charlie McIsaac? He's obviously the one that can win the game for him at the moment, it looks like.
Yeah, well, they're probably... You wouldn't put Cormac to him, would you? Because he's probably too valuable.
What about Reece Galvin?
Yeah, I think they made the change now.
There you go.
There we go.
Back underway, Grant and Delaney. It's the Old Xaverians lane. Bilston, McGillen, they get involved. They go towards the Nepean Highway wing. Guiney's on a run. Polkinghorn's riding him all the way through the footy. He's a former state-level runner, is Polkinghorn. He won't give up, though the Zavs have numbers. It was Connor Dunn to Fenelon up towards Simeopolis. He tried the mark at his chest where he needed to take it in his hands. Old Scotch go through the middle of Elsternwick Park, and they are steaming forward. Farah's got it. He's got the entry kick. He wants to go to Lawrence. The kick never made it that far. It's taken by Hart. They waste the entry kick, Hugo and Wardy.
Yeah, you had to give that inside handball to Gelbart, who had a direct line towards goal there. Would have been an easier kick, or get the kick over the top to Lawrence. But you can just see Lawrence struggling a bit with that movement, and he was a bit behind then too, so that was an easy one to pick off.
Yeah, so Hart, a kick to centre wing goes out.
Yeah, he might be better off just anchoring himself. You'd see he's deep in the goal square now, Lawrence. Maybe not leading too much and just getting it to the top of the square and creating a contest.
So between centre wing and half forward out of side of the ground, favour of Scotch. Will have the ball thrown back in. 14 minutes gone in this second term for any time fitness. 33 playing 27. Zavs have the lead. Scotch go forward. A kick up towards 45. Guiney in front. Polkinghorn from behind. Tawney a handball out the wide here. He saw Henry Brown. Gave the handball now. Gelbart goes into the pocket. Will he mark? No, they can't. Felt here to Hanson. Got a short kick if they're Hamish McIsaac. Farah brought to ground. A tackle laid on him. Clark held onto it for an eternity, got the handball out. Bilston McGillen got it back to O'Sullivan, and Zavs go forward with a kick towards half forward.
Downfield.
And a free kick downfield, and McIsaac will take it here for Zavs. Whistle went while that ball was in the air, and Charlie will get it. 33 playing 27. Zavs have the lead. 14 and a half gone in this second term. Charlie McIsaac's kicked 3 for the game so far today. He went to Knott. He fitted it down to ground level. Great pick up there. Now a game to Connor Dunn. Handball Stavro. Handball Bilston McGillen into goal and kicked it. So he was in the right spot. Stavro a great handball. He got it out to him, and Bilston McGillen kicked the goal.
Probably a bit stiff again, Scotch. Maybe Tommy Farrell was tackled without the footy there. So that's been a couple of times that they probably could have had a free kick, and then they will just open up at the other end. And, you know, moving the ball really quickly at the moment, Zavs, and putting Scotch's defence under a lot of pressure.
And they're spreading their forward line out well, which is spreading their defenders out. So they're getting a lot of one-on-ones ahead of the ball. So it's working really well for them.
And doing it again, they're sending Sprazer up forward as well. So
yeah, Delaney's gone into the ruck.
I think it's an indicator on how close this game has been, that the 12-point advantage currently enjoyed by the Old Xaverians is the largest one of the games so far. Free kick in the ruck for a block going the way of Delaney. So maybe a chance to extend that 2-goal lead. 6-3-39 to 4-3-27 on the William Buck scoreboard. Inside 50 go the Zavs. Knott's the target. It's fisted away from him by Walsh. Charlie Cormack unimpeded, retrieves the footy, sits the kick up a little bit high though along the Nepean Highway wing. He invites the Zavs pressure. Dunn wins the footy to McIsaac. Guiney in lane. It just about came off the shoe of lane and over and out on the full. So a free kick to be taken here by Old Scotch.
Yeah, they're very, sorry, I was going to say Scotch are very tall forward of the ball, but they're very short in the back half, aren't they? They're struggling for those taller matchups. That's why I think that Donati's throwing the ruckman down in there as well to make sure he got all those tall options to try and stretch them.
Walsh up to Clark, who kicked for Townsend, who found Lipscomb. They're going to use the corridor again. Old Scotch. Tawney tried to tap it on for Lipscomb, who was too slow. He was tackled off the footy. It was Lawrence rather. He's trying to win the ball while he's sitting on his backside. Sprallia's after it on the outside of the contest. The handball will come though for Old Scotch, and now he's horsed to the ground. Tawney is sore and can't retrieve this football. He's holding his ribs, so Cormack had to come up such a long way. He fends off 2 tackles. He kicks the ball forward. Well done, Charlie Cormack. Got it to Henry Brown to nobble it inside 50. Fennelly closing spoil. The ball out of play at half-back for the Old Xaverians. Jake Tawney, Hugo, for Authorsport Victoria, not in a good way.
No, not at all. He's got the trainer with him at the moment, but the basic play had to go around him because he cannot move. He's really struggling.
He's grimacing, isn't he?
Yeah.
He caught one right in the bread basket and may have affected the rib cage. Ball thrown back in out of side of the scoreboard side of the ground. Tom Dunn head over the football going through, can't go anywhere. Tawney comes off, Barter goes back on.
And Jake Tawney's a properly tough customer, so if he's coming off the ground, you know he's been hit hard.
Thrown in the air again, Spralia grabbed it, kicked it out of danger momentarily. Jack Brown straight onto it, then lost it. Woodhouse, handball lane, who goes forward to McIsaac in front of Galvin. Bounces in front of him, gets around Galvin, gets around him again. Right foot kick smothered by Galvin. Well done. by him. Hayes comes in, lets McIsaac know about that. And we'll have the ball thrown back in Glen Huntly Road, end of the ground.
Well done by Reece Galvin. Charlie McIsaac's obviously got him for athleticism and speed, but he hung in there enough, didn't get stepped and got the smother.
Yeah, well done, Reece. Thrown back in. Clark at the back, Woodhouse in front. Clark got the fisted punch. Stavrou has a shot at goal, but missed. And a minus score there to Zavs. Taking them on to 6-4-40. Scotch 4-3-27. We've gone how far? 18 minutes in this second term.
Hugo, it looks like Zavs are lifted around the footy. They're intensive and the intent to tackle and has been fantastic.
Yeah, their speed on turnovers good too. Really putting Scotch under a lot of pressure behind the ball.
Noblett's turned it over on the kick out. You're right, gents. It's all the Old Xaverians ahead of the ball. This little tee-up kick, though, for Lane did him no favours. Brown arrived. That's Henry. He'll now fight over the footy on the boundary line. The Zavs will keep it in. Here comes Stavrou again.
Yeah,
Charlie McIsaac has meters on Galvin. The kick carried over his head. May not matter because Charlie roves. He snaps towards goal. He was too acute with the left foot snap and he misses. He's being afforded far too much space inside 50 for my liking. Daniel Ward, 6-6-42, the Old Xaverians, 4-3-27, Old Scotch on the William Buck scoreboard.
Yeah, if Natty could call a timeout at the moment, I reckon he would, and he'd try and get him to slow it down a little bit and drag Zav's defence out and just get some uncontested footy and just gather themselves in their breath a little bit because they've been under the pump the last 5 minutes.
So Lipscomb has it. 3 kicks from defence. He's still inside defensive 45. Goes to Henry Brown. He takes the mark. Goes in through the middle. Lawrence there from a missed opportunity. Ended up with the footy. Now Stavrou through. Heard the call out wide. Bilston McGillen. Got it back. Guiney goes in towards centre half. Fort Easton. Took the mark over the top. Old Westcott. And will play onto the outer side of the ground. That trusty left foot of Brody's goes out wider here. Centre wing the target. Picked off Hamish McIsaac. Delaney got it back to Hamish. Got it back to Delaney. He got around Clark. 50 out from goal. He goes into Wards and misses everything.
Yeah.
Out of bounds on the full. Resultant free kick going Scotch's way.
A little bit of tunnel vision there by the big fella. He got excited coming through and you could just see McIsaac, pure frustration on his face in the square. He was furious with that.
He's got the hot hand. 3 goals in the first half. Kick it to the number 1 on the long sleeve. 6-5-41 the Old Xaverians. 4-3-27 Old Scotch on the William Buck scoreboard. We've ticked it to time on for Anytime Fitness in the second. This long kick outside of defensive 45 from Old Scotch carried the pack and it will go out of play. Thrown in centre wing, the Nepean Highway side of Elsternwick Park. So the Zavs, they've kicked the last 2 goals, 3 of the last 4. 3 of the 4 goals kicked in this term. Towards the Glen Huntly Road end of Elsternwick Park. Mark Nutt with plenty of decisions to make. In the last 10 minutes or so of this quarter. Ball hurled back into play. Spralia and Clark will wrestle over the top of it. Here comes Joel Bart looking for control of the footy. Westcott of the Zavs, one way than the other. Kicks it high and up the chimney, 45 metres from goal. Charlie Knott came in third man. Took the mark on his chest. Where's Charlie McIsaac? This kick will go shorter than that. It went towards Ben Bilston McGillen, spoiled away by Lipscomb. And Ben Hayes clears the zone with a handball. The ball bobbles around on the boundary line, the Nepean Highway side. Will it be over and out? No, a free kick picked out in Campbell Lane. The co-skipper will take it. He holds up his hand for calm. Where's the entry going? Galvin's on Charlie McIsaac. Pushing back into his space is Hayes. Here comes the kick. Charlie McIsaac won't fly. Galvin picks it off. The Old Scotch defence lives to fight another day. Only momentarily, Galvin was pulled down by Charlie McIsaac as he kicked across the goal mouth. Found Townsend. Has to be precise with this kick to Noblet. Wasn't. Has to require some help from Lipscomb. Broke one tackle. Couldn't break the second. Holding the footy. How hot is this game of footy and how hot is the pressure from the Old Xaverians forwards? Daniel Ward.
Pressure, they can't get out of their back 45 at the moment and release that footy, which is what they want to do. First of all from Charlie McIsaac and then the pressure there to lock the ball in for another shot on goal. Just one thing with Charlie, he's got some smalls leading back into his space. So the old full forward, your Brian Taylor, your Tony Plugger Lockett, they'll be telling the little blokes to get out of their space. Charlie McIsaac needs to be doing the same as we see Reece Galvin coming off.
Yeah, it looks in a world of hurt. Yeah, for Author Sport Victoria. So Galvin and Tawny saw for Old Scotch. Meanwhile, we're with Charlie Knott. He's directly in front, 30 metres out. Hugo Higginbotham, we saw him miss a shot from about this distance last weekend against the Tunners. This would be for a 20-point Old Xaverians lead. He's missed to the right-hand side.
Jack Lipscomb lets him know all about it. 6-6-42, the Old Xaverians. 4-3-27, Old Scotch on the William Buck scoreboard. A little bit of afters there, Simon Petch, between Lipscomb and Knott.
Nothing in that at all. Just a little bit of how do you do. Get on with it. You missed it. See if you can get another way. Another one.
Crucial next 5 minutes here. Scott's just hanging on at the moment.
Cormac kicks the ball back in. Outside defensive 45. Delaney, the back over Lawrence, takes the mark. So it's going to come straight back in. Delaney's last kick was out of bounds on the full. This time from a standing start. He'll go top of the square. McIsaac out, position there, and Grant just chimed in and took the mark as easy as you like. Gave it off to Barter. Away goes Scotch out of defence. Handball to Easton, a kick up towards between centre wing and half back towards Angus Jones, who goes short. And kept running was Noblet. He marks for them. They go up towards 45 out from goal, and Gelbart takes the mark. Good contest, that one with Guiney, and Gelbart marks in front of the scoreboard. 23 and a half gone in this second term. Gelbart squares it up. He goes back in, taking the mark. Henry Brown goes in towards goal and missed. So minus score to Scotch. They go on a 4-4-28. Zavs on 6-6-42. 24 gone in this second term. Let's go down to Raj Johnston.
We might hold on Raj just for a moment, gents.
No buttons.
No buttons quite yet.
Okay.
Got to go and move the car.
Let's go down to Raj Johnston right now.
Jake Tawney back on the ground, guys. Good to see.
Thank you for that, Raj. We're also Sport Victoria. Good to see Jake Tawney back on. The Zavs right up towards centre wing, the Nepean Highway side with the kick out. Taken by Westcott, really open ahead of the footy here. Westcott towed the kick just over the top, hoping for runners ahead of the footy, which he finds. And here goes Delaney, a running bounce. He was tackled, he kicked it forward. Charlie McIsaac could mark this anyway. No, it's out of bounds on the full for a second time.
Seriously, he's kicked one out of bounds on the full already. Then he took a bounce after 2 metres. You'd love big blokes just to stick with what they know. Tap it down to the little blokes.
So a couple of entries from Delaney where he's really got the blinkers on and gone for a run. He's kicked them both out of bounds on the full. Feedback from Dan Donani, you expect at half-time a free kick on centre wing going the way of Sam Grant for Old Scotch. 42 plays 28. A 14-point Old Xaverians lead. 25 minutes gone on the second for Anytime Fitness as Grant just sticks this one over the top and finds Jack Lipscomb. So a slow play here for Old Scotch, Nepean Highway wing.
So very measured there, Dan. Very measured there. I'm sure if you're in the coach's box, it would be totally different to that. Fist away. Here's Tom Dunn. Handball O'Sullivan on his own. Gets a wobbly kick up towards half forward. Close to the boundary line. Will it stay in? Jack Brown's got it. Gets around Westcott. Handball over the head. Cormac was there. Now he's in trouble. Good tackle laid on him. And the free kick will go Connor Dunn's way here. 4 Zavs. Nepean Highway side of the ground. Glenn Huntley Road end of the ground, dying stages of this second term. Zavs lead 42 to Scotch 28. Dunn goes to the pocket. Grand up, couldn't mark. He brought it to ground. He then volleyball spiked it. Tried to get it away. Now they clear the ball here. Scotch, do they know it came back? Connor Dunn, another go. Left foot kick into the top of the square. Fished away there by Grant. Front of the pack, Westcott. Brought to ground by Gelbart. Good tackle laid on him. And we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, they're having a lot of trouble exiting this area, Scotch. They've got a lot at the contest, but as soon as they kick it out, they've got nothing to take possession. So, bit of a game of aerial ping-pong at the moment, Petchy.
Yeah.
Grant with the ruck tap, and it came the way of Easton and Old Scotch, and they'll take it away uncontested through Stubbings at right half-back broadcast side. The kick up to Jones. He decelerated. He was held onto, I suspect, by Tom Dunn. Jones has been good up from the forward pocket towards half-forward. Hasn't found much of the footy, but when it's gone towards him, he's had some important touches. He's right beneath us, defensive side of the broadcast wing here at Elsternwick Park. His side 14 points down into time on in this second term for Anytime Fitness. Right behind the Jones drop punt, long down the wing he goes. Fennelly, uncontested. And if it wasn't him, it was Spralia right behind him. Gives off the handball to Sam Ralph, one of the inclusions today. Up towards centre half forward. Charlie McIsaac's too far back. Ed Delaney went for a fly, slapped forward by Easton into the hands of Stubbings, who waited for it and gave to Lipscomb. Now to Noblet. He's tackled by Tom Dunn. Had to get rid of it, had to give to anyone. Gave it to Julian Ganji. Not his intention. Goes back inside 50. Jack Brown's tackled by McIsaac. That's Charlie. Not before he got rid of it, and the Scotch defence momentarily survived. Grant goes short. That's not required to Easton. Geez, the tackling pressure, it just keeps on coming and coming from the Zabs. Stubbings tries to weave his way through. The handball was to no one, and the Zabs will take over broadcast wing.
So that was only 5-on-1 there. Zab's favour. Hamish McIsaac goes in. Not a good kick. Chopped off by Brady. Goes to Gelbart. Now they've got a chance to go forward here. Townsend's got it for Scotch inside. 45 to Barter, and he marks a diving mark inside the arc.
Very fortunate there, Scotch. As you said, Petchy, Zabs are outworking him.
Harassing them.
They had a lot more at the contest. Just missed a kick going inside the forward half, and Scotch hurt him on a turnover. The other thing is, when Jones had the ball here, he went long and high to Lawrence, who's on one leg. Clark and Tarrant were off the ground at the same time, so they just need to be aware of that to lower their eyes when they don't have those big boys there.
So now Barter's got an opportunity here for Scotch. 4-4-28 Scotch, 6-6-42 Zavs. Barter scoreboard end of the ground. He'll run inside the 45-metre arc. Put it on its way. Terrible kick off the boot. It just made its way through, and only a minor score. Scotch 4-5-29. Zavs 6-7-43. That on the William Buck scoreboard for any time fitness, 28.5 minutes played in this second term.
Looking at a 20-minute goal drought at the moment for Old Scotch. Not something that's happened to them too much in the last few weeks. They've got the footy back inside 50. Will Clark pulls it down. Just a little bit further out than Ollie Barter was, and with a slightly harsher angle at left half forward. Will Clark, who tore apart preliminary final day in 2024 in a barnstorming third term. They really need him to get into the game. He can cut the lead down to 7 points here. Daniel Ward and Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ.
Yeah, Jones has been their best forward at the moment, so they actually need some of these big guys to stand up, whether it's Tarrant or this guy, Will Clark. So for Scotch's sake, hopefully he goes back and puts this through and narrows the gap.
He had 3 goals and 3 goal assists against St Kevin's on this day last year on this ground. Will Clark, he'll kick from 40 metres out. 45-degree angle to left half forward for Old Scotch's 5th goal. It's a high kick. It fades on the breeze. It won't make the distance. Delaney pulls it down 2 metres out from the goal line. Another wasted opportunity by the Cards, and Delaney will start the Zavs again from the last line, Simon Petch.
So doing a good job, Ed. He's marked down in defence. He's been up forward. He's battling his heart out. He goes long towards Noblet. Great mark, Noblet. 2 bites of the cherry and brought it down. He goes in short underneath the scoreboard to Barter. He marks 45 metres out from goal. So another opportunity for them. 12 shots to 9. Zavs have had 12. Scotch have had 9. Zavs have the lead. 42 to 29. We've gone 30 minutes in this second term, and Ollie Barter lining up for a shot at goal here. Right on the boundary line. There's plenty of daylight between the goals there. But the breeze is going to blow the ball across the face of goal if he doesn't hit it correctly. Puts it on its way, goes right across the face, and just snuck in for a minor score. Scotch on to 4-6-30. Zav 6-6-42. 30.5 gone in this second term.
Nice little mark of the day contender for Sharon there by Alex Noblet in the broadcast wing.
Yeah, no arguments at the moment.
Number 1 Australian football brand of the country, and the football that all players want to get their hands on at the moment. It's all the Old Xaverians getting their hands on at Sharon as that ball dribbles off the pack and out of play in the Nepean Highway side. It's just felt like both sides have just relaxed the pressure valve in the last 2 minutes, I'd say, Hugo.
Oh, it's been a frenetic quarter, so that's probably fatigue coming into it as well. And for Scotch, they'll be ruining those couple of missed opportunities because they haven't had a great quarter, to be honest, and get a couple of opportunities late, which is what happened again to Zavs last week. So a bit of a let-off for Zavs.
For Author Sport Victoria, a reminder, Reece Galvin, he went off the ground about 5-10 minutes ago, hasn't returned since. The ball's thrown in. Spralia and Grant, the first choice rucks. Neither had the best of the footy, and that's a big tackle on Easton. He's brought down. Attacking side of the wing here for the Old Xaverians. They lead it by 12 points. They've kicked the last 2 goals of the game and 3 of the last 4. It's been their quarter. O'Sullivan's pursuing this footy next to the boundary line. He doesn't take it cleanly. It dribbles off his shoe on the bounce and out of play again. So the boundary umpire very busy on the Nepean Highway side. Daniel Ward for Hit IQ.
Yeah, the thing with that, with Reece Galvin off, they've had to go back to Jack Brown on Charlie McIsaac. So Dougie Lawrence is trying to get back and help out. But the matchup has gone back to Jack Brown with Reece Galvin off.
Thrown back in, and Stavro ended up with it. He got the handball out somehow to Lane, who then saw the boundary line and just stepped over it. So we'll have another ball in. 32 gone, second term. 6-6-42 Zavs. 4-6-30 Scotch. 2 goals the margin. Scores were tied up at quarter time, 3-3, 21 apiece.
Well, you see that Natty's thrown Doug Lawrence has an extra behind the ball for the last minute or so of this quarter, just to try and stem the flow. Doesn't want to give another one away.
Thrown back in, Grant along the ground at his bootlaces. Siren goes, and that is the half-time score down here. So 6-6-42. Lead Scotch 4-6-30. That quarter going 32 and a half minutes.
The goal kickers for the Old Xaverians, Charlie McIsaac with 3 to the half-time break. Singles for Bilston, McGillen, Woodhouse and Delaney. For Old Scotch, Jones with 2 goals, singles for Galvin, Farah as well. So, Old Scotch 4-6-30, Old Xaverians 6-6-42. It's a 12-point ball game at Elsternwick Park as part of our halftime show, which is coming up for Holmes Glen, a major partner of the VAFA for over 10 years. We'll be joined by the coach of Old Brighton, Marcel Bruin, for his takeaways from the first half and a little bit of a preview on how the Tunners are shaping up for their 3rd grand final appearance in 4 years. Halftime of the preliminary final, it's the Old Xaverians leading Old Scotch by 12 points.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
Tickets are now on sale for the William Buck Premier Women's Grand Final Day function at Elsternwick Park on Sunday, September 21. Hear from both coaches pre-game and watch the Premiership decider from the comfort of the function room with finger food and a cash bar. Tickets are just $30, including gate entry, and are available now at the VAFA website.
Tickets are on sale for the William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final Lunch, Friday, September 26 in the function room at Elsternwick Park. Enjoy the biggest day on the amateur footy calendar with the delicious sit-down lunch and hear from the Grand Final coaches ahead of the big game. Tickets are available now at vafa.com.au.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the Premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8th at the Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45 p.m. Listen via the app.
Preliminary final day here at Elsternwick Park. It's the Old Xaverians and Old Scotch doing battle in front of us for the right to play Old Brighton in the grand final in 2025 next Friday afternoon. Halfway down in this game of footy, it's the Old Xaverians 6-6-42 leading Old Scotch 4-6-30. Charlie McIsaac is the first half story with 3 goals to the long break. And Old Scotch just finding itself a little bit behind the 8 ball in the second term, conceding 3 goals to the Old Xaverians while only kicking 1 of their own. Paddy Grindlay, Simon Petch, Hugo Higginbotham, Daniel Ward and Raj Johnston is your call team here from Elsternwick Park for the preliminary final. This is our halftime show for Holmes Glen, a major partner of the VAFA for over 10 years. We have a very special guest here in the commentary box at Elsternwick Park in the boardroom here at VAFA HQ. It is the coach who is hoping to become a premiership coach in William Buck top flight in 2025. His name is Marcel Bruin. He leads Old Brighton and he joins us now in the commentary box. Marcel, good afternoon to you.
Thanks, Paddy. Thanks for having me.
What have you taken away from this first half of footy? I would hope that your aim for this game is for these two teams to just whack into each other as hard as they possibly can for 120 minutes.
Would absolutely love that. If the rain could come down as well and make it an absolutely terribly contested game, that'd be great. It's been another high-quality VAFA A-grade game. A lot of heat around the contest, a lot of pressures. Avs have done, as they did against us, brought a lot of heat to Scotch to limit their possession game, and they really got to work in that second quarter, particularly around contest. Were able to exit pretty well, so they were looking good through there. Would have liked to have probably put another couple on, I reckon.
The eye for us was drawn to Charlie McIsaac, especially in that first term. It really puts into context how good of a job Louis Butler did on him last week. Kept him goalless for only the second time this season. He's got 3 to long break. He's such a difficult player to match up on.
He's a super player. Yeah, he's certainly the first one on the whiteboard that you put a bit of time into when you come up against Xavier. They've obviously got a lot of guys that are really important for them in front of the football, but about really good overhead. Ball hits the deck, he can still impact, and he's really super athletic and, good leading patterns, all those kinds of things, all the things you want out of the deepest forward. So terribly hard matchup, particularly one-on-one, and we're blessed to obviously have Louis, who's done a great job on him 3 games thus far, or 3 games thus far. So I'm sure, if they get through, he'll be going straight to him again.
So, here we go. Thanks, Brucey. So, how was the aftermath of last weekend? Obviously, Alfie, no good, but all the other boys, they would have come out of that game sore last week. It was a very contested game.
Absolutely, yeah. You would have fronted up the next week if you had to, but we're certainly wrapped that we were able to get a little bit more rest into our group and train the way that we wanted to train, I suppose, on our own terms in some respect, and not have to build up to this game. But again, the aftermath was a little bit bittersweet with Alfie doing that season-ending injury. He was in for surgery on Monday. He's had a terrible week, but he's in good spirits at the moment, and that just sort of gives another opportunity to someone else to stake their claim to get a game.
Soup, congrats on your year so far, mate. Great effort to get back to another grand final. How do you approach, obviously, the disappointment of last year? Is it not something that you talk about, or is it something that you bring up and talk about what they possibly learnt from last year, or whether it's your preparation? How do you approach this week coming up?
You've nailed it, Wardy. We actually did a lot of that today and spoke about it. We took a lot of learnings out of last year. We opened it up. We were pretty vulnerable today as a group, and threw it over to the players a little bit after we finished training. We got them a bit of tucker after training and just got them to talk about, there's obviously going to be anxiousness, there's going to be nerves, there's, they deeply care about their performance and the outcome, and sort of just about obviously embracing that. It's a bit of that price of entry to have those nerves, and we spoke about just obviously generating another opportunity, which is what we work to do, and hopefully we get the process right on the day. But if we can be more comfortable than we probably were last year, I think we probably topped out a little bit to the later parts of the year. We were really fit early on, put a lot of work in. We played, relatively few numbers last year. And coming into the final series, I don't think we were running on top of the ground, to be perfectly honest. This year, I feel like we're a little bit better prepared. We're probably a little bit more fortunate in having played the number of players that we've played this year, and certainly found a couple, which is nice. But we come in feeling pretty fresh and healthy, and hopefully in the right frame of mind come Friday next week.
So talking about preparation, without giving away too many trade secrets, what does this week look like for you guys? Because obviously Friday game, bit of an unusual one for preparation.
Yeah, well, even that, having done it last year, is great learnings in and of itself. And even today we've had the reserves who played early on. We trained in the morning. Obviously want to watch the outcome of this game, and then we've got our under-19s in a unique time slot at 5 p.m. So it's a long day. But I hope that the players are just resting easy, have a little look here, and potentially just take themselves home and not get too carried away tonight if there's celebration down at the football club. And then throughout the week, we're lucky to be able to train on Sandringham's ground at the moment. We've lost our middle for the preparation of cricket, which is very frustrating. But getting a bigger ground is really helpful, obviously, considering we're playing out here on a big deck. So getting used to that spacing-wise, it's so much different. We came back and we're doing the same drills that we were doing at Sandringham. I'm setting up the cones and I can't get my depth right. So down at Brighton. But, that's been great. We'll train on Tuesday night. We'll do a little bit of a captain's run Wednesday, keep it relatively light and high energy, and get ready for Friday.
I'm interested in that side of things, Soupy, because we know your ground down at Brighton Beach Oval, it's notorious for being rather small and rather affected by the wind that comes off the bay. Did it take you a few minutes in the first quarter of the second semi-final just to adjust to the expanses of Elsternwick Park?
Yeah, it always does. We think we play really well on a bigger ground. We've got a lot of guys that get to work, have really high work rates, and some super fit boys that can cover ground. So I don't think the size of the ground does too much for us. I think it actually works in our favour to some extent. I think probably more so just the level of pressure that Zav's brought last week was something that we had to work our way through and try and be a little bit cleaner and less panicked, which is probably what we were when we got the ball back in our hands a little bit. And full credit, obviously, to their defensive work last week. They were outstanding. It's been on show again with Scotch on the ground balls, particularly today. They've just been able to hunt. So, no, not so much the big ground, I don't think, Paddy.
Probably the standard question, mate, when you're watching the second half of a prelim. What sort of differences are there between Scotch and Zavs, and that you'll have to sort of encounter next week?
Yeah, we match up really differently against both sides. Scotch carry obviously a few of those really super plays and that are talls and got hold of us last year on grand final day, particularly forward of the football. So. We're just sort of looking how they structure up, whether they drop one back, whether they shift out at contest. Scotch bringing up a high half forward at the moment, which I'm sure Natty probably picked up on wasn't working as well for him because Zav seemed to be getting a lot of control at contest and opening up those lanes for McIsaac to lead into with a lot of space inside forward 50. So just picking up on little things like that, and even Scotch got a set play out of kick out, which we sort of took note of, and we'll write some of those things and hopefully just be as best prepared as we can, Wardy.
Well, Soupy, congratulations on qualifying for the grand final again. It's a massive achievement for your footy club. We can't wait to see how you go on Friday coming up this week. Good luck with your preparation.
Good on you, mate. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Wardy. Thanks, you.
Marcel Bruin, the coach of Old Brighton for Holmes-Glen, a major partner of the VAFA for over 10 years. It's great to have a premiership coach, perhaps in waiting, join us over the half-time period. Umpires back on the ground before we take our second break for this half-time show. Let's go over for Skins to the Premier B Grand Final taking place today at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Old Trinity lead that one 9-5-59. Caulfield Grammarians 5-6-36, 24 minutes down in the third term at Trevor Barker Beach Oval in the Premier B Grand Final. Here it is the Old Xaverians by 12 points at half-time. More footy coming up after this.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
Tickets are now on sale for the William Buck Premier Women's Grand Final Day function at Elsternwick Park on Sunday, September 21. Hear from both coaches pre-game and watch the premiership decider from the comfort of the function room with finger food and a cash bar. Tickets are just $30, including gate entry, and are available now at the VAFA website.
Tickets are on sale for the William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final Lunch, Friday, September 26 in the function room at Elsternwick Park. Enjoy the biggest day on the amateur footy calendar with the delicious sit-down lunch and hear from the Grand Final coaches ahead of the big game. Tickets are available now at vafa.com.au.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8th at the Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45pm. Listen via the app.
6-6-42, the Old Xaverians, 4-6-30, Old Scotch half-time of the preliminary final here. VAFA Finals footy on Community TV and the SEN app. Paddy Grindlay, Simon Petch, Hugo Higginbotham, Daniel Ward and Raj Johnston, your call team from Elsternwick Park. The winner through to face Old Brighton next Friday afternoon in the 2025 VAFA Grand Final in William Buck Premier Men's. Let's first go to Raj Johnston. He's been downstairs. He's got an idea of the conditions. He's got an idea of the injuries. Raj, run us through that first half and what it might have cost, particularly for Old Scotch. They had two injury concerns. Jake Tawney and Reece Galvin both went down looking sore. Raj, what do you got for us?
Yeah, a bit happening in the first half, Paddy. Conditions haven't changed a whole lot. A couple of pockets of blue skies. I can hear Hugo laugh here later. You're right, Hugo. Yeah, it hasn't changed a whole lot.
No. That wind certainly hasn't picked up anyway.
No, not at all. As for injuries, yeah, you're right. Old Scotch didn't have a good run of it. Jake Tawney came off sore. He's back on now, but we'll keep an eye on him. And Reece Galvin as well, just waiting for an update on him. So I'll keep you posted if anything changes there, guys.
Thanks for that, Raj. Daniel Ward, you've been watching the Old Scotch huddle and you have noticed an absentee.
Yeah, it looks like Reece Galvin hasn't come back out. So that will put Scotch's defence under a little bit of pressure. As we spoke about, Jack Brown will have to go back and play on McIsaac, I would say, unless they swing someone like Charlie Cormack over to him. But an important player for Old Scotch's defence.
So what's the lever if he is done for the day? Wardy, is it Doug Lawrence going back as well, do you think? Or do you try and keep him forward, considering that he's got mobility issues with that knee injury?
Yeah, he looks sore, so I wouldn't be putting poor old Doug back in defence. So I think they just got to win it more at the source. They, Hugo's spoken about the inside 50s, and they just went to work and lifted their work rate, Zavs. So Zavs Scotch need to roll the sleeves up a little bit and get to work.
Hugo Higginbotham for Hit IQ. You've got a few notes as well.
Well, one thing they could actually do is they could throw Grant behind the ball and put Clark into the ruck if they're that desperate, sort of thing. So there is an option there, but yeah, they're sort of plugging holes there because they are very short behind the ball compared to how tall they are forward of the ball. But there's options there. But you're 100% right. They got smashed in the clearances that quarter. That's where all the problems started. And with those bulk entries they had, they're probably lucky they're only 2 goals down at this stage. It could be a lot worse.
Our third term is for Altex. Invest in alternative real estate debt. Visit altex.com.au. That's altx.com.au. An interesting note, Simon, Petch, Hugo and Wardy. In round 14, the Zavs played Old Scotch, and in the third term, the Zavs kicked 7-2-44 from just 12 inside 50s. Woodhouse, and not with 2 goals apiece, 7 goals to 2 in that third term. So they typically like playing in this third term, Wardy.
Throwing the magnets around that he has here. So he started with Sam Grant and Will Clark deep in the goal square, and James Tarrant's playing in the ruck.
Thanks, Daniel, and a great half-time chat there too with 2 great coaches, Marcel Bruin and Daniel Ward. In the commentary box for half-time was terrific. Out of the middle. Here's Stubbings for Scotch. In trouble. Spralia had him, and he gets the free kick. So Zavs in the first 10 seconds of this third term go forward. A kick by Spralia. Up to full forward. Oh, McIsaac went through his hands. Out the back, Jack Brown handball. Got it off to Cormac, a short kick. Here to Barter inside defensive 45. Handball to Gelbart. Goes out wide here to Hayes. He has an eternity to pick it up. He goes with a kick to Clark. Out of bounds on the full. And the resultant free kick going Zav's way, and Lane will take it out there for them.
So this gives Zadge a chance again. You know, they've having a lot of trouble to clear off half back there before, and now they get a chance to horseshoe the ground and set it up how they want.
So Lane went to Tom Dunn, to Nick Guiney, to Jed Fennelly, a few Richmond VFL players combining in that chain onto Goss. He is a long kicker to footy. He's going to go for the 45 into the corridor for Tregar from fullback. He leaks up and back they go the other way. Guiney from the broadcast side. They go back towards the Nepean Highway wing. O'Sullivan's next in the chain. Outside part of the centre square here. Campbell Lane next up. They're just hitting up the uncontested first options here, Daniel Ward. It's a bit like watching Old Scotch play.
Just about to say, giving Scotch a dose of their own medicine. So, and that's the thing, when you go tall inside your forward 50, then it's hard to actually put that pressure on once the opposition gets it.
Tom Dunn, he kicks it out towards Westcott. It didn't take a kind bounce. It pitched and bounced right over his head and over the white line between half forward and the wing, Nepean Highway side. Much ado about nothing in the end for the Old Xaverians. 42 plays 30 on the William Buck scoreboard. Our third term is for Altex, and we've gone just about 2 minutes down. It's been the Old Xaverians controlling uncontested possession. We haven't really seen Old Scotch with a chance to take the footy. Sam Grant's gone to full forward. Tregar switching the matchup with Tom Hart on him. So Hart to Grant as Tarrant goes into the ruck for Old Scotch. He just threw both arms at it, didn't make much connection, and the ball is locked beneath the big pack of bodies. It'll be thrown in the air here, 80 metres from the Old Scotch goal.
I know Zav's had a lot of possessions there, but they've basically gained no ground. So with Scotch setting up behind the ball, they've got to try and find a way through that.
From the Old Xaverians goal, rather.
So Sprelly are off the ground in the first minute of this third term, holding his hand or his wrist as Guiney goes forward, full forward. McIsaac the target, palmed it down beautifully, picked off by Bilson McGill and back to McIsaac. Over the shoulder, but the umpires picked out a throw. And a resultant free kick going Scotch's way. Yeah, so Sprelly are off the ground at the moment. Came off holding his hand. He may have dislocated a finger, but he's definitely off the ground as Jack Brown gets the resultant free kick here for Scotch. 2 goals the margin, no addition to the half-time score. Jack Brown goes in really short here. He found Easton, who goes to Stubbings. They still have the ball inside defensive 45. Scoreboard into the ground here, Scotch. And still inside 45, they can't clear it. Henry Brown's now got it. He goes long with a kick. Centre half forward, half back the target. Grant marks here for Scotch. Goes inside here to Clark. Wanted the handball over the top. He's telling him to run forward. He goes with a kick towards Stubbings, who did just
Jones,
that. He marks 50 out from goal. Goes into Angus Jones. And spotted there by Hugo. Takes the mark in front of goal down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground.
Yeah, as soon as he saw that ball coming in, he just snuck away out the back, and they had to go and make the contest there, but it was good vision too to get it over the top.
Just a strange one there. Jed Fenley, he's obviously played a bit of AFL reserves. When they were streaming through the middle, he stood stationary on the mark, as they do in the AFL VFL.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
he forgot where he was for a point in time there.
So here's Angus Jones for goal number 3 and Scotch's first of the third term. That's good. That's really good, and that's Scotch's 5th goal of the afternoon. They go into 5-6-36. Zav's on 6-6-42. 1 goal the margin. Jones kicks his 3rd. And we've gone for Old Tex. We have played just on 4 minutes in this third term.
Yeah, so I really like this move from Natty. I saw James Tarrant come off just before half-time. He looked pretty frustrated with the way that Scotch were moving the footy. So, yes, you got the big blokes up forward, but it's also allowing James Tarrant to have a run around and break the shackles and play on ball for a little bit.
So, confidence booster here for Scotch, kicking the first goal of this third term.
Up to this final series, Angus Jones had only kicked as many as 2 goals in a game of footy this year. He's kicked 3 in back-to-back weeks, perhaps more in this game of footy. The Old Xaverians advance it to Delaney at centre-half forward. He's held up by Lawrence, who's gone back, as we mentioned. Daniel Ward, it'll be thrown in the air, 45 metres out from goal. 42 plays 36 on the William Buck scoreboard. Ball in the air. Noblet had done, by the looks of things, tied up from the moment he had the footy. Westcott, rather, of the Old Xaverians, and we'll do it again.
It's going to be an interesting matchup of Lawrence on Delaney, because Delaney is very, very mobile.
Yep, he's an athlete, and Dougie can't move.
O'Sullivan pulled down by Easton. That might be holding the ball. It's paid. Lipscomb thought about taking the advantage. He's ended up taking the advantage. I don't think he meant to. He got it to Stubbings, to Tawney, back on after the hit to the ribs. He cops one there from Stavro, kicked it up beyond halfway. Broadcast swing, big pack of players form. It's belted forward by the Old Xaverians. Ralph flicked it onto Hansen, kept his hands loose, handballed it through, taken again by Tawney. Clever kick on the bounce to Clark, just needs to pick it up, the big fella. The handball not great. Polkinghorn eviscerated by Hart. There'll be some afters as well. Lipscomb's not happy. Polkinghorn's down and sore, now back to his feet. Tom Hart actually more proppy than Polkinghorn as a result.
Yeah, he's going off, Hart. He'll go off.
For Also Sport Victoria, he's got some feedback as well for a few Scotch players. Polkinghorn back to his feet, goes short for Brodie Easton.
So Easton's got it right in front of us. Commentary side of the ground, Scotch. All the play in this third term goes to the top of the square. Oh, he's taken it. Here was the Harry Lime, the 3rd in line. And Clark has taken it directly in front of goal.
What was that?
The Harry Lime, 3rd man.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Thanks
you
for
read the
that.
book?
No.
Okay.
Not one with all with pictures in it.
It's only got pictures in it.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, well, it's got pictures in it a lot, isn't it?
So he was the 3rd man there, Clark. Good, strong contest there, Daniel, at that footy. He knew it was coming in from Easton.
Yeah.
It was a great mark. He stood tall and took it. So for their second goal in about 3 minutes to tie the scores again, and Clark, he's got it. He's just snuck it in. And they go on to 6-6-42 Scotch. Zav's on 6-6-42. 7 minutes gone in this third term, and Clark has kicked his first goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, look, both ends both ends, both defences, Hugo, are quite short, if you like. So, you know, stretching Zavs with Clark, and now Grant's gone into the ruck, but initially he went forward, and Tarrant's gone forward now. But, yeah, both defences struggling to match up with height for sure.
You felt for Old Scotch, Hugo, to win, they needed to get these talls into the game. They've now got one of them in Will Clark.
Yeah, they also needed to get probably to even up the clearances in the middle, and they've done a lot better at that this quarter. So they're getting a good look at it up the ground at pace coming in. But with Clark being able to slide over the top there like that, because the big blokes don't get any shorter, Petchy, do they?
No, that was a great mark.
Geez, he'd be about a metre taller than you.
Tom Hart walking up and down the boundary line in front of the Old Xaverians bench. For Author Sport Victoria, Raj Johnston will be on the scene shortly. Woodhouse from the ruck, tapped it straight to Hayes on the Nepean Highway wing. His kick was scrubby up to centre half forward. Tarrant, excellent tackle on Trigar. He's caught him holding the ball.
Yeah.
Didn't have much prior, Trigar, but Tarrant had the arm trapped. James Tarrant, so good for North Melbourne VFL as well as Old Scotch this year. Inside 50 he goes. Clark comes rumbling up from 3 deep. He knocked over an opponent there, and Hamish McIsaac. Ball is loose. Farah's after it. Trigar picks it up of the Old Xaverians. Clears defensive 45. Tarrant went for a fly. Couldn't bring down the footy on the arc of 45. Here come the Zavs in response. Not on that left. Just kicks it up in the F. Delaney. Lawrence came up with the spoil. Didn't clear the ball. And the Zavs will work it out through. Here comes Ben Bilston McGillen. Just needs to pick up the footy at half forward. Feeds it sideways. Stavro clean pickup. Back over the top. Simeopoulos to finish on the right. No. He's missed to the right-hand side. Great build-up from the Old Xaverians on the William Buck scoreboard. They take the lead, 43 plays 42 for Hit IQ. Here's the voice of Hugo Higginbotham.
Yeah, it was a great build-up there by Zabs to get that slingshot down the ground and composure moving forward, but it's just another one of those kickable goals that they've missed that they may rue later in the game.
And they've done it all at the scoreboard end of the ground, really.
Yep.
So that's their first score of this third quarter. 43 playing 42. Zavs lead by a point. Scotch have possession. Ralph then had it, then lost it. Kick around the body. A kick up towards half forward here for Scotch. Farah there. Hanson there. Charging through. Tom Dunn ran straight in to Townsend. Ball was smothered. Townsend butted up beautifully. Handball Polkinghorn. High kick down towards half. Full forward. And Jones going up, contesting the mark. Just forced his body forward in that contest and gets the free kick.
Really dangerous there. So got out the back, Jones, and it was left with Campbell Lane as a sliding winger coming back and trying to compete in the marking contest. Jones got in the front spot. Lane panicked and gave away the free kick for in the back.
So directly in front, Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Distance won't be a problem, just the accuracy. They trail by a point. He can peg them, he can put them in front by 5 here. Angus Jones done it. Soon as it left the boot, he's kicked his 4th, and Scotch kicked their 7th. So a 5-point margin here now to Scotch. Jones has kicked 4 goals for the game so far in what has been a polished display.
So if you look at, I think it was Simeopoulos who missed that goal from that snap in front.
Yeah.
And now they're down a goal because it's come end to end, and that was always going to be hard for Lane coming in there. We probably need to try and get him the side and get body on earlier rather than just smacking into his back. But coming in with that pace as well, it's always going to be hard to defend. But he doesn't miss this guy. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Very good small pressure forward.
I know we've spoken about trying to give Clark and Tarrant some space. Maybe we should be speaking about Jones because he's been their best forward by far.
Yeah, the double decoy for Angus Jones. What a story he could be on preliminary final day. Old Scotch in front for the first time since the first term. Here are the Old Xaverians. Dennis Simeopoulos up towards half forward. The kick's a little bit strong for Knott, who couldn't hold on under the pressure of Brady, who picks up the footy. The Old Scotch defender goes to Lawrence. Precise along the broadcast wing. The kick is wide towards the boundary. Guiney gets involved. Gelbart's taking it on the slide, though. Important grab by the skipper. The 45 kick to the corridor is perfect for Henry Brown. It opens up the corridor. Noblet was there, as is Polkinghorn. He runs and takes the mark. Inside 50, Jones wants 5. It's gone longer than that. Clark at Tarrant! James Tarrant takes a screamer, a mark of the day contender for Sherrin. Floating from the side. He'll kick from a slight angle 15 metres out to the Glen Huntley Road end to open up an 11-point lead for Old Scotch, Hugo and Daniel Ward.
Yeah. Sorry, go, Woody.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, before he kicks it, James Brady just come off for a rest there. Great spoil up the other end. He was one of the guys that went out of the team a few weeks back when some VFL boys came in.
Tarrant on the runway. Scotch kick clear. He has his first. They've got 8. Like they did in 2024, it's the third term for Old Scotch where they just start to get a rumble on. 11-point leaders over the Old Xaverians. 54 plays, 43 on the William Buck scoreboard. We've gone 12 and a half minutes for Altex.
Yeah, a bit of a difference this quarter, isn't it? The entries coming in for Scotch a bit deeper, and when they're that big, and a day like today as well, with that 2-goal breeze that's disappeared, coming in very, very hot the ball at the moment. They're making the most of their opportunities, which you think Zavs probably haven't with some easy ones missed.
4 straight goals in this third term to Scotch. They've really opened it up here. Delaney out of the danger. Goes outside the centre square. Stubbings back onto it. Easton goes there. O'Sullivan nearly threw it out to Stavro. Got it out here to Bilson McGillen, who goes inside 45 here for Zavs. Ends up Nature Reserve side of the ground, and Hayes has it now for Scotch. He brings it back into Gelbart. He takes the mark. Heard the call in the middle. Henry Brown goes with a kick down to centre half forward. Hamish McIsaac upended. Jones can have a shot. He has a bounce. He had a Campbell. He goes in towards Terrence. And Terrence kicks another one. That's 5 straight for Scotch since half-time. Terrence on the board with 2 straight goals.
Yeah, you don't have to be dead to be stiff. Probably should have been a free kick there to Old Zav. So McIsaac came back for the second time, Hamish McIsaac. That's the second time he's done that this quarter. Clearly a free kick. Yep. Ball drops. Yep. Lucky goal, but they're getting it in there and putting the defence under pressure.
Wow, 5 straight, like in the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
this
5
is open right
in 10 minutes, Simon Petch. It's been an onslaught.
Yeah, it's 5 off 7 entries too. So every time he's going in there, they're kicking a goal.
Yeah.
And that's another coast to coast.
Class.
So that's,
Right, who's going to stand up for the Old Xaverians right now? Just about season on the line stuff. Ed Delaney rages after the football in the centre of Elsternwick Park. He runs away from an opponent. He handballs towards Connor Dunn, who's got a hay-sized problem. Stavro takes it back to Delaney. He palms it to Stavro, the co-skipper. Bends it around on the right boot. He hit the belly of the ball. It floats to the top of the square. Underneath it is Stubbings. It bounced off his chest. Here comes Charlie McIsaac. Jack Brown rides him all the way through. They're along the boundary line. The umpire's seen enough. He'll throw it in the air. 3 metres out, right in front of the behind post scoreboard end of Elsternwick Park. There are so many bodies around the Sharon right now. Grant taps it down, taken by Simeopoulos. Back across his body, Connor Dunn. Top of the goal square, couldn't bring it down. Fighting there is O'Sullivan. He's dispossessed in a big tackle. The umpire lets them play. He lurks, he blows his whistle. He calls for the football.
That was a great tackle. O'Sullivan was gone. As soon as he knew he had the footy, the tackle was terrific. Inside the goal square here for Zavs. Lawrence goes through. Noblet ends up taking it through. And we will have the kick back in. 6-8-44 Zavs. 9-6-60 Scotch.
So we've had the same amount of entries from both teams here today. It's probably the difference is in this quarter. Difference is the way it's coming in. So it's always under pressure at the moment for Zavs.
So Nobler kicks the ball back in as long as he can go. Hard palms it down to the front of the pack. Didn't take the mark and then tackles. And we will have a ball up half back here for Scotch. Commentary side of the ground. Into this third term. They've kicked 5 straight to open it up here, Scotch. And the ball dribbles over the line out of play. And again, we'll have a ball in. 9-6-60 Scotch. 6-8-44 Zavs. 16 gone in this third term.
If you're Dan Donati right now, Daniel Ward for Hit IQ, what are you instructing your players to do?
I just think they've got to get to work, take it on a little bit more. Ed Delaney worked really hard from the centre of the ground then. Maybe leave him in there to get him going for another 4 or 5 minutes.
He's into the ruck. He remains there on ground. He just about took it out, Delaney. Just had a moment of butterfingers, but he wins himself a free kick because he was pushed in the back first to the footy. You spotted it, Wardy. So Delaney is 50 metres out. The man on the mark stands just outside the paint. He runs up and he kicks it as long as he can muster to the top of the square. Sam Grant's worked all the way back there. Oh, he had 9/10 of it. Didn't bring it down. Connor Dunn! Into the goal. He's kicked it.
Wow.
Something from nothing from the Old Xaverians against the flow. It was desperately required. The lead goes back to 10 points on the William Buck scoreboard. 50 play 60. Old Scotch's run of 5 straight goals is broken by Connor Dunn from 5 metres out, manufacturing a goal, his first of the afternoon.
Again, probably a mark there, the Grant. Could have been paid. Natty just looked up and gave the our box a smile. So keeping his cool, doing a good job. But, yeah, I'd probably call that 1-1 because it should have been a free kick, for Scotch's last goal.
Yeah, so 15 love, you would say, Dan.
Yep.
In that
15 all.
15 all. 15 all.
You're
in
not
that.
a tennis player,
No,
are
I'm
you?
not. No. Just sort of throw that one in his lane. Stavrou, don't like the game.
Yeah.
Came out to Hamish McIsaac, who goes with a kick to centre wing. Over the head there of Connor Dunn, who now is with Cormac, who then just goes in short or kick smothered off the boot in the end. Woodhouse ended up with it. It came back here towards Connor Dunn again. Handball inside here to Stavrou. Inside 45. O'Sullivan turns around, has a look and kicked another one. Well, Scotch never touched it. O'Sullivan just spun on a Thripney bit and he delivered that goal for Zavs, taking them along with 2 goals in a row and O'Sullivan's first goal of the afternoon back to a 4-point ball game. 9-6-60 Scotch, 8-8-56 Zavs. They've gone nearly 19 minutes in this third term.
Yeah, well, you called it earlier, Wardy, on the back of this, some inspirational work by Big Delaney in the ruck. He's got a lot of energy in there and providing them a lot. And they've got back on top of those clearances and now getting back on the scoreboard.
So a big few minutes here for the Old Xaverians. They needed to respond. They have. Delaney to Simeopoulos. Barter's got him. Simeopoulos will take the tackle. I like how they're just leaving Delaney in there up against Grant.
Well, he's had a good quarter, Ed. He's had a touch on everything, hasn't he?
Extended stint. Grant took the ball out this time. Delaney worried him off the football. Might have been a bit of high contact coming the way of Westcott. The umpire didn't see it from Gelbart. So we'll get a third stoppage in sequence here. The 2 rucks wrestle each other off the footy. The umpire calls them to play. Gelbart to Barter. Tackled off the handball. Stavrou and Delaney again. Tie up Noblet. We've moved all of, I reckon, 3 metres since the centre throw up. Tackle after tackle. These players are feeling the heat in this game. Hayes knocks it loose to Noblet by hand, who kicks up to Farah. Nepean highway wing. He marks a step ahead of Hamish McIsaac. Props the kick. Noblet's going to be closed down here by Connor Dunn. Noblet was good enough. He marks 70 metres from goal. Moves it quickly into the right forward pocket for Will Clark, who comes steaming up. The kick, though, favoured Hart, who knocked Clark off his step. He takes the mark in the left back pocket for the Old Xaverians, and Tom Hart will push them down the Nepean highway wing. Simon Petch.
Exactly right there, Paddy. He used his body beautifully on Clark and took the mark and delivers the kick outside 45. Out there to Westcott for Zavs, who kicks the ball towards the boundary line. And Walsh sees it over. Insufficient, and Walsh gets the free kick. He brings it back in as quickly as he can. And over Boulder Easton. Now he goes back in after it again. Guiney got in his way. Handball went along the ground here. Stubbings held onto it okay and got a kick back into the middle. He found Gelbart inside the centre circles. Heard the call out wide. Handball came. They go for it again. Here's Scotch to Clark in front. Clark could not spoil that one. Clark marked it too far in front of the eyes, and he'll go back and have a shot at goal here for Scotch. That was a good, strong contest. Ball came in real quick. Hart just didn't have that strength to knock it away, nor the reach.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to use the corridor a fair bit there. So Stubbings was really good with his ball use to Gelbert, get the hands and then hit up Will Clark. Doesn't give the defenders much hope.
So Clark looking at his second goal of the afternoon. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Hardly a breath of wind out there. 46 out from goal. Does he like it? Yep. Yes, he does. So Clark kicks his second goal of the afternoon. And this has been a very good quarter here by Scotch. They now go on. I can't even read that. I don't have my glasses. I've got to wait for the scoreboard to come back up. Here, Paddy, I can't read that screen. 10-6-66 Scotch, 8-8-56 Zavs. Back out to a 10-point lead. And we've gone 21 and a half in this third quarter.
Just on Ed Delaney having an extended run in the ruck. That might be. I haven't seen Sproulger come back on. So
no, his finger or hand, I think, was the issue, Daniel, early in this third term.
Raj Johnston will check in for us on that one. Gelbart tackled Hanson holding the footy. Here's Cormac, handball receive up towards James Tarrant in front of his eyes. Fennelly did really well. Got the reach in, fisted it away. Lane Butters up for the Zavs, feeds it through to O'Sullivan and they come through the other way. O'Sullivan's kick no good. Intercepted by Gelbart. Attacking side of the centre square. Oh, Barter's pretty much hit his ankle. He's kicked it directly to Guiney. He went to try and force it to Townsend. He kicked it straight to the Old Xaverians, number 14. He kicks it up ahead to Charlie McIsaac in a one-on-one with Jack Brown, who stepped around him, got it to Barter. Doesn't let himself down that time. Got it to Townsend. He kicks it along the broadcast wing, up and under. Guiney back with the flight marks. Right in front of the bench, attacking side of the wing, broadcast side, Nick Guiney. On the William Buck scoreboard, it's the Cards 66, the Zavs 56. 22 and a half gone for Oltex in the third. And they'll horseshoe the ground here, the Old Xaverians, to Tom Dunn.
So Tom's got it. He goes back here to Hart, back virtually whence it came. He goes with a kick up towards centre wing and half forward for Zavs. Fisted away from Bilston, McGill and Daniel.
Yeah, you spoke about it earlier, Hugo, that when Zavs seem to shift the footy, they're not actually going forward with too much urgency. Yeah. So they're just shifting it from side to side. They need to actually take some territory when they're doing that.
10 points the margin. Scotch had the lead. Ball thrown back in centre wing here. Commentary side. Stavrou handball. He found Goss. Handball Hansen. He tried to break a Farah tackle. He did. Got it back to Stavrou, who got it off to Knott. Oh, he slipped one there. He got right into 45. And Woodhouse takes the mark.
So what are we, 23 minutes into the third quarter, and you finally got your first Knott reference in
the
there.
Slip knot,
yeah, I picked up on that one.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised it took this long.
Well, he hasn't been in much of the play to actually go with a few of the knots.
It's usually your go-to when you're struggling for contact. You just, where's Knott? I'll bring him into it. But no, that's a very good kick. He's done well there.
Woodhouse has got it. And at the scoreboard end of Elsternwick Park, the breeze just going across the face of goal from right to left. So he'll have to be accurate enough here, Woodhouse. This to peg the margin back to a 4-point game. Woodhouse brings it back beautifully off the left boot. And he kicks their ninth. They go into 9-8-62. Scotch on 10-6-66. And Woodhouse has kicked his first goal of the afternoon. No, second. Second of the afternoon for Woodhouse. Beautiful left foot kick. Used the breeze well.
I think he's going into the ruck now too, Woodhouse, just to give Big Ed Delaney, gave everything he had for the last 15 minutes. Yeah. He's cooked, he's going forward, and Woodhouse is having a turn in the ruck.
That was good by Zavs, that build-up where they run and carry through and got that deep kick, rather than that sideways lateral with nothing forward.
So 3 for Charlie McIsaac, 2 for Woodhouse. 4-point lead for Old Scotch. Guiney to Hansen from the middle, and the Old Xaverians want the lead back. Inside 50 to Knott. He's tied up with Brady. Fisted away from him by James Brady. Grabs the footy back for Old Scotch. Goes to Walsh. Flicks the ball over the top in the Nepean Highway wing. Brady just tumbles it forward into the hands of Barter, who slipped Woodhouse. Got it away to Tawney. Quick hands this from Old Scotch. They Polkinghorns handled it to no one in particular. Stavrou eventually wanders over and picks up the footy, and the Zavs come back the other way. Nepean Highway side into a one-on-one. Lawrence did well. Opposed in the one-on-one with Delaney. Has help from Walsh to Jack Brown across the goal mouth, and Stubbings takes the mark. Old Scotch will come broadcast side through Lipscomb.
So he marks inside defensive 45. So, Zavs have had a terrific 15 minutes of footy here after Scotch kicked away, and Delaney has had a real good quarter for them, takes the mark. Between centre wing and half forward, commentary side, Ed Delaney's got it. 10-6-66 Scotch, 9-8-62 Zavs. Kick towards the hot spot, centre half forward. No mark taken, but it came out here. Now O'Sullivan into goal. And he's kicked another one for the quarter. That's their 10th goal of the afternoon, and O'Sullivan's kicked his second of the game and his second of the quarter. And the Xaverians have really pegged the margin back after Scotch get out to a fly. 10-8-68 Zavs. Now they lead Scotch on 10-6-66, 26 minutes gone in this third term.
How's this for a quarter of footy, gentlemen? Old Scotch come raging in with 5 goals in 10 minutes, and then the Old Xaverians respond just as emphatically.
Probably the difference is who's been winning the clearances as well, so that's been telling.
They led it by 12 points at half-time, the Zavs. The lead's been reduced to 2, but that doesn't really tell the story of an entertaining third quarter. Hansen at centre-half back goes spinning through. There'll be a ball up here, 50 metres from goal. Tom Dunn, the last to get up of the Old Xaverians' persuasion. Grant's into the ruck on Woodhouse, flicks it out the back of the contest. Hansen does the tackling bit again on Lipscomb this time.
He's one who's lifted, so you talk about Fisher being an out for Zavs. Hanson's been really good in the middle of the ground.
27 minutes down for Oltex. The Zavs by 2 points on the William Buck scoreboard. Big tackle by Lane. It fed Hamish McIsaac the footy. Inside out barrel down the Nepean Highway wing. Cormac will be first there with Connor Dunn in his hip pocket. The ball makes its way over the boundary line, and that might be insufficient intent.
Turn it up.
Wowee. Well, what was the intent of the players there?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's not a free kick. That's just out of play, in my book anyway. But I've never umpired a game.
Haven't you?
No, never.
You have a lot of opinions about
it. Well, we're all meant to have one. That's why we're here. Here we go. Brown with a kick. High up and under. Jones at the back. Oh, gee, Tom Dunn in front. Took a good mark in front of him. The pressure was coming. But he stood tall there, Tom, and he took it. Down in defence, Glenn Huntley rode into the ground here for Zavs. He bombs it outside 45. Up they go. Ball came to ground level. Farah there overran it. Barter doesn't. He gets into it. He gets a kick to Clark. He's upended by Hart. Surely a free kick.
Yeah,
and not paid, and the ball ended up at centre wing here. Lawrence dived over the top. And we'll have the umpire come in and ball this one up. And Clark, he looked like he was tunnelled under the footy there by Hart.
Absolutely.
It's taken a while to get up. Thrown
Really
in the air
dangerous.
again. Out wide goes Barter. Handball Polkinghorn goes back towards Barter. Hanson in his way, but Barter good enough. Handball came out wide here to Noblet. Handball Polkinghorn. They're handball happy. Came to Farah. 40 out from goal. Goes into Brown. Henry's got it. Tight angle. Goes into goal and misses. Handball happy out there. And it's a 1 point ball game, 67 to 68. Zavs have the lead. We've gone just on 29 minutes in this third term.
The William Buck scoreboard. All Old Scotch to start the third. The Old Xaverians have come back sharply. They've kicked 4 of the last 5 after Scotch kicked 5 goals in 10 minutes. From the 4 minute mark of the third to the 14 minute mark. Campbell Lane runs his full distance, kicks it down the Nepean Highway wing. Doug Lawrence in the pack, taps it towards the boundary line. Helped it on its way over the white line. The Old Xaverians players somewhat facetiously, Daniel Ward, appealing for insufficient intent. They won't get it. It'll be thrown in 80 metres from goal.
Yeah, not like me to be negative towards the umpires, but there's been some questionable decisions. So hopefully they can fix that in the last quarter.
So it'll be thrown in. Ed Delaney still in the ruck. Alex Spralia still off the ground. Grant in the ruck, palms it down, double-handed. Missed Lipscomb, though. Spinning through is Hanson. Knocked off the footy by the Lipscomb tackle. Grant goes in. Guiney, he was unperturbed. He tackled Grant, the bigger man. They'll wrestle over it on the boundary line. The field umpire notes the ball has stayed in place, so he'll come and throw this one up. 29, in fact, 30 minutes gone in the third term for Oltex. 68 plays 67 on the William Buck scoreboard. It's the Zavs by a point. We're getting stoppage after stoppage here on the Nepean Highway side. This time it'll be thrown in. Simon Petch. Pretty much neutral territory in front of the park cars there.
So still no Spralia.
No.
So he went off in that first minute of that third quarter holding his hand, and obviously an issue there with him. Thrown back in out of sight of the ground. Nepean Highway's side, Delaney, Grant used his body well. Got a handball to Barter, who found Lipscomb. Got a kick just in the nick of time. A high up and under kick down to Tarrant, out of bounds on the full, I think that was. Noblet saw it over, and Lame gets the free kick here for Zavs. 68 playing 67. Zavs have the lead. 30 and a half minutes gone in this third term for Oltex, and we will have Lane kick the ball back in out of sight of the ground. He goes back up towards centre wing. Good distance with the kick. Delaney goes up, palmed it down to the front of the pack. He couldn't hold on to it. Lawrence on hands and knees. Can't work that one out either. And again, we'll have another ball in the air.
So just probably about halfway through that quarter, Dunn has gone to the dangerous Jones, and he's really giving him a lot of attention. So that's going to be an interesting battle.
Henry Brown found Noblet from that throw in. He got around Hamish McIsaac. Handball polking on. He ran too far. So Noblet's run too far, giving away a free kick here to Zavs. 68 playing 67. Zavs have the lead. 31 gone in this third term. Down here at Elsternwick Park in the preliminary final. Hamish McIsaac's got the footy. Kick towards centre wing. Grant sets himself. Oh, Delaney. He's held on to that one. Centre wing out of sight of the ground. That's a real good mark, and he took it beautifully and brought it down with him. Centre wing out of sight of the ground. He goes with a kick inside 45. And a Jack Brown in front. A long way in front of McIsaac. Takes the mark down in defence.
Just a few things to report. Our man Raj Johnston on the boundary tells us that there's no update available on Alex Spralia, though Might have just seen him walking around in his civvy, so he might be done for the day. So Sam Grant went for a fly, Nepean Highway side. More on that three-quarter time as Barter takes the footy, kicks up to Will Clark, who couldn't hold on centre wing. Noblet comes in and applies a big old tackle. It'll be thrown up here, neutral territory. 32 minutes now gone for Old Tex. It's the Old Xaverians by 1 point on the William Buck scoreboard.
We don't miss anything here. We don't miss anything here, do we?
Old Scots
Australia
10-7,
straight off the
67.
ground within a minute of that third quarter.
You keep mentioning this because you're the one who saw it. I can see what you're doing.
On the right up to half forward, couldn't grab it cleanly. He had to catch Brady instead. It'll be thrown up here. 2 kicks from home for the Old Xaverians.
You couldn't miss it. It's the tallest goal on the ground. You couldn't miss it.
It was a good get by you.
More from Raj Johnston perhaps on that at three-quarter time. A few stoppages to end this third term for Old Tex. Still time for the Old Xaverians. No, there isn't. So with 1 to go here at Elsternwick Park in the preliminary final in William Buck Premier, it's the Zabs who came through in second place through the home and away season, 10-8-68. They lead Old Scotch 10-7-67 with half an hour of football to play. Half an hour remains in one of these teams' seasons. The other will be on to play Old Brighton on Friday in the 2025 William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final. Will it be the Cards or the Zabs? We're about to find out. Stick around because at three-quarter time, as part of our little presentation, we'll hear from the coach of the Old Xaverians, Dan Donati. We'll also go inside his huddle. Raj Johnston will be joining on the spot. Stay tuned. More footy coming up after this.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken mini meal. It's the ultimate value bundle. A mini chicken burrito or bowl, medium Chipotle seasoned fries, and a bottle of water or a soft drink of your choice. It's cheaper than cooking at home. Love ya.
The VAFA's Night of Nights is just around the corner. Join us at the VAFA Awards Night as we celebrate our league best and fairest winners, induct our newest life members, and present the premiership flags. Wednesday, October 8 at Lakeside Pavilion in Albert Park. Get your tickets now at vafa.com.au.
Are you looking to grow your business? William Buck are more than just accountants and advisors who can develop strategic growth plans for your business. With over 125 years' experience, William Buck has expertise in navigating through challenging times and has been working closely with the VAFA community, creating positive change for individuals, businesses and community organisations. William Buck's team of specialist advisors work collaboratively, providing you with 360 support. Schedule a complimentary consultation today by visiting williambuck.com.
Tickets are on sale now for the William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final Day function. Friday, September 26 in the function room at Elsternwick Park. Enjoy the biggest day on the amateur footy calendar with a delicious sit-down lunch and hear from the grand final coaches ahead of the big match. Tickets are available now at vafa.com.au.
Listen in to the award-winning VAFA William Buck Premier Men's SEN Match of the Day this Saturday afternoon on SEN's new no-delay streaming product, SEN Stadium. That's VAFA Footy, live with no delay, Saturday from 1:45 p.m. Listen via the app.
Three-quarter time in the preliminary final at Elsternwick Park. It's the Old Xaverians 10-8-68 leading Old Scotch 10-7-67. A one-point ball game in the preliminary final. The goal kickers this afternoon, Charlie McIsaac has 3 for the Zabs, 2 each for O'Sullivan and Woodhouse, Connor Dunn, Bilston McGillen and Delaney with singles for Old Scotch. It's Jones, Angus Jones with 4 goals, Taryn and Clark with 2 apiece, Galvin and Farah the single goal kickers. Dan Donati's huddle isn't too far away. Raj Johnston will have the mic in to listen to the address from the Old Xaverians coach, but let's go briefly around the grounds for Skins. Old Trinity 75 leading Caulfield Grammarians 43 in the Premier B Grand Final, halfway through the third term there at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. It's the Tees who went through second on the ladder, leading Caulfield Grammarians who went through third on the ladder by 32 points. Both of those teams will be into William Buck Premier in 2026. Let's throw it down now to Raj Johnston. He's got the mic amidst the huddle here for the Old Xaverians. Dan Donati there is ensconced within a big pack of players and supporters and family members and cameramen, and of course Raj Johnston just about at the centre of it all. Let's go inside their huddle right now and listen into the address from Dan Donati at three-quarter time.
That's preliminary final footy now. Yeah, baby. Hey, challenge. We lost Big Spagger, kicked a couple in a row. You resettled out on your own out there. You got your shape right. You got it forward. Little Sully man up forward. Goes bang, bang. Della, that's your best quarter of the year. That's how you take control of the game of footy, mate, in a big game. Great stuff, fantastic. All right, so when we have to go long down the line, we do everything we can to get the ball. If we get the ball forward and they go long, that's the one we've got to get to ground, because then we can reset. When they go long and take that mark, that's when they're going down the other end. After all the hard work getting it forward, then we'll land to go back down. So that long ball, which is going to happen, we get to ground, okay? Just keep working. They're looking through the middle low all the time. So when there is a turnover, I know it's hard. We've done a lot of work mids and everybody, but we've got to make sure that corridor's got a man, all right? Because they're going that little one all the time, and that's when they're looking really dangerous on the turnover, all right? Just keep working through it. Noddy, it was a really good face-up down here, mate. And again, you always face the game, and just composure, hit the target, and Woody, fantastic finish. Great finish. Really crucial this quarter. I know it's hard. We've got to go both ways, though, all right? Because we want to play our footy, remember? When we can switch it, we can switch it. When we overlap, we overlap it. When we lower the eyes, we overlap it. Then we've got to get back. If there's a turnover, talk, get back, block the corridor, get the turnovers in our half. We will score that way. Composure going inside 50, doing everything else you can. Great stuff. This is what preliminary finals are all about, boys. Let's have a look.
Come on, boys.
All right. Just have a look. Clearances all over them again. All right. That's big this quarter. Make sure we continue to win in that spot there. Keep them to that quarter. All right. That's the big KPI. All right. If they're going to go long and deep, that's okay. Quick. Get back and help your defend. Defenders are working their butts off down there. All right. Get back and help them, boys, whenever you can. Everything else is pretty evident. Let's have a look. How are we going to start? Come on, boys. All right.
Thanks for the access from Dan Donati there into his three-quarter time huddle. Bit of fire and brimstone stuff there, Daniel Ward.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent. Kept special praise for Ed Delaney, who obviously had to go into the ruck. But it looks like Spralja is not coming back. So, yeah, I thought his message was clear, really positive to the group about what's working for them and the ability to finish this game off well. So, yeah, great message.
Perhaps one quarter left in their season, so they're going to throw everything at the Old Xaverians. The story is their number one ruckman, their first choice ruck, Alex Spralja, is done for the day. He won't return. Alex Spralja out for the day. Let's go down to Raj Johnston. He's joined by the coach of the Old Xaverians, Dan Donati.
Thank you, Paddy. It's all going to come down to the last quarter, Dan. What does the fourth quarter played on your terms look like?
Oh, geez. Preliminary final footy. You want to get it forward if you can, but be composed. You've got to take your opportunities at the end of the day. You've got to be able to run both ways. I know it's hard now, but if we can get the ball forward and lock it forward and keep it there, it's going to help us.
All the best. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to Dan Donati, the coach of the Old Xaverians. His side leads it by a point at three-quarter time. The Zavs 10-8-68 leading Old Scotch 10-7-67. It was even at quarter time. It was the Zavs by 12 points at half time. Old Scotch, they took a 17-point lead at the 14-minute mark of the third term. The Zavs kicked 4 of the last 5 goals of the third to take the lead to go home with. So Spralja done for the day, and the report out of Old Scotch per our man Raj Johnston on the boundary is that it's a hamstring injury for Reece Galvin that will keep him out of the remainder of the game. We know that the ribs of Jake Tawney are pretty sore at the moment, so it's one down apiece for each bench at the moment. Daniel Ward, Hugo Higginbotham. I'll ask you both this question. I'll ask with you, Hugo, for Hit IQ. Which coach and which team would you rather be going into this final term?
Look, it probably Zavs, to be quite honest. They've had 40 entries today, which is a good total at three-quarter time. Probably haven't capitalised on that enough, but if you keep getting those continual entries and they can sort a few things out there, might be a little bit more space out there now for the forwards, considering later in the game, a little bit of fatigue, so probably in, but geez, it's very close, though.
Yeah, same thing, really close. I'd love to differ from Hugo, but I'd have to agree. You know, at some stage the dam wall may break a little bit if Zavs keep continually getting it into their forward line. McIsaac was quiet that quarter, so he's a guy that can kick 2 or 3 this quarter and win the game of footy for him. So, yeah, like Hugo said, could go either way, but probably slightly Zavs' way.
So the Old Xaverians, they haven't won a final since the 2016 premiership in William Buck Premier. Old Scotch, they have 15 premiership players out there. The Zavs, they've won their last 3 games against the Cards, so they will fancy themselves on the run home. Our final term is for Community TV, the VAFA's official streaming partner. A reminder that we are a dual cast this afternoon. If you've been listening in on the SEN app and on the SEN website, you can also choose to take in the video exclusive to Community TV on communitytv.com.au. The final term is ahead. The Old Xaverians lead this game of footy by a solitary point. 30 minutes left in one side's season. Let's see who makes it through to take on the Tunners on grand final day this Friday afternoon. You're in the capable hands of Simon Petch for the start of the last.
Thanks, Paddy. And umpire just waited for respective supporters to get their seats on the hill at either end of the ground, because this should be a ripper. Last quarter, and Tawney tried to burst through a tackle of Bilston McGillen, but was going nowhere. And we'll have another ball up in the middle of the ground. 68-67, Zavs have the lead. Final quarter for one of these sides in season 2025. A throw's been paid in the middle of the ground, and it goes Delaney's way. So against Scotch, and Delaney with the first handball of this third final quarter. Bilston McGillen goes to Semiopolis. He dropped it. Townsend backing him up. Had the ball smothered. Now Connor Dunn handballs Semiopolis. Goes long with a kick. Down towards McIsaac. No, he couldn't get there in time. Woodhouse got there first, and we'll have a ball in.
Just notice it's interesting that big Dougie Lawrence has gone to Knott as a matchup in the back half. I'd be a bit concerned about that one with Knott's pace and agility, and Big Doug's not known for his pace and agility. He's known for bowling blokes over, Petch.
Yeah, absolutely. Thrown back in, and Woodhouse palms that one down. Front of the pack. High up and under kick, nearly out of bounds on the full for Scotch. Hamish McIsaac fisted away from Stubbings over the line. 48 metres out from Zav's goal, and we'll have a ball in.
I do feel with Ed Delaney, Wardy, that he's a confidence player. It would have helped having one of the first disposal of this final quarter.
Yeah, it would have helped getting a pat on the back from Nutsy. Nutsy said it was his best quarter of the year, so he'd be floating on air at the moment.
He's going to need a big one in the final term. Grant won it down. The kick from Hamish McIsaac went into the shoe of Hanson and then into the waiting arms of Henry Brown. He kicked it up and under towards Tarrant, centre wing broadcast side. He couldn't bring the footy down. O'Sullivan's tackled off his kick by Tawney. That's not carried the required to Stubbings, who was cleaned up as he handballed. The Scotchies have got it loose to Cormac. One way, then the other through the middle of Elsternwick Park. He goes up to Clark, who is surely held onto by Harts. Free kick going the way of Will Clark, 48 metres from goal. It'll come all the way back to Will. He's directly in front. Might not have the leg. He is pointing towards the sticks. He's not going to take it, though. He runs the arc. Now he does eye the sticks. Now he kicks it long! Will Clark says, come with me! Old Scotch in front. 11-7-73 plays 10-8-68 in the William Buck scoreboard. 2 minutes into the final term for Community TV. Will Clark's got 3, Daniel Ward.
Obviously, this last quarter is going to be about big moments, big players stepping up in big moments, and Will Clark did exactly that. Wheeled and goed and has put it through from probably about 55 out. Great goal.
Probably a contender for goal of the day, Paddy.
All thanks, of course, to GYG. Order on the GYG app today and get rewarded each time you eat GYG. Fast food athletes say yes to.
I can't really nail that one as goal of the day just yet. Here's Easton out of the middle. He goes out wider here. And they go forward. Townsend again for Scotch. Up towards Tawney. He's brought to ground in a great tackle. Laid on him by Will Goss. And he gets the free kick. Down in defence here for Zavs. Goes in short to Trigar, and he just holds on to the mark. 73 playing 68. Scotch have the lead. 3 minutes gone in this final term. He goes back to Goss. Can't complete the mark. About to be run down by Jones. Got the handball. Back to Trigar, who got it back there towards Goss, who then finds Stavru. Pointy end of the centre square at half-back. Into the middle here to Connor Dunn. McIsaac down in the forward 45, all on his lonesome. Now the cavalry arrive. Hamish McIsaac goes up. Oh, no, he didn't. He stayed down, Hamish. It goes over his head. And we'll have a ball in deep in the left forward pocket here for Zabs.
Good ball use from Zabs coming through the middle of the ground to lower the eyes and hit Dunn, who's Charlie Cormac's man, who's looking to sag off and help out his defenders.
They have been able to take a lot of Charlie Cormac's influence out of this game, the Old Xaverians. Thrown in Woodhouse, front position on Grant, who just angled his body superbly, tapped it to Stubbings, to Noblet. An Old Scotch rebound defensive 45, a 2-on-1 against Tarrant. It was touched off the boot, it pitched and bounced and went over the white line. That's a win for the Cards. It'll be thrown in between the benches, broadcast side. 68 plays 73, 4 minutes down for Community TV in the final term. Old Brighton awaits on Friday afternoon. The 2025 VAFA William Buck Premier Men's Grand Final. And the 19's grand final coming up after us. More on that in a moment as this ball escapes out the back of the ruckman and Stubbings takes it. He was impeded by Ralph as he kicked it high. Farah stands underneath the footy. Guiney tipped it away. Here comes James Tarrant, takes it cleanly. Tackled by Stavro. Got it to Henry Brown. Henry Brown eyes the sticks and kicks and he misses to the right-hand side. He had a moment's space. He didn't use it. 11-8-74 Old Scotch. 10-9-69 the Old Xaverians. Might be 10-8-68. I think they've given the point to the wrong team here at Elsternwick Park. 68 plays 74 on the William Buck scoreboard.
So kick back in. Commentary side's favoured. 2 on 1 here. Tarrant in front, Delaney in the middle. No one can take the mark. Ed backs himself. He goes in after it again. Got the handball out, but it went straight to Noblet, who got it to Barter, who slipped away. Got a kick inside, and that was a good kick to Farah, and he marked 60 out from Scotch's goal. Attacking to the scoreboard end in this final term. Farah goes inside. 45. No mark taken. For the ball. Jones into goal. He's missed everything. You can see the whites of his eyes from here. And he missed. 11-8-74 Scotch, 10-8-68 Zavs. We've gone 5 minutes in this final term.
First Brown and then Jones. You don't get too many opportunities to run in unimpeded towards the open goal, Daniel Ward.
No, spot on. This is about taking your opportunities, and they need to nail those.
Lane clears the 50. Delaney from 3 deep went for a fly. Sam Grant slow to get up from that contest. Woodhouse feeds it on. Big tackle on Westcott Lade.
He's just flying at everything, Delaney.
He sure is. He's done it all day.
Doesn't care who's in his way.
No.
He's just having a crack at everything.
It was Grant and Tarrant then too.
Attacking to the wing, broadcast side, thrown in the air again. Easton to Lipscomb. The kick came off the ankle. It didn't go the required. Hansen, tackled by Farron. Knocked himself loose, though, did Hansen. Got it through to Bilston McGillen. Underhand handball. Delaney got it through to Stavro, who went charging through and galloping and got it to Sam Ralph. Through the centre of Elsternwick Park. He kicks for Charlie McIsaac. He's marked 40 metres out. He thought about playing on and kicking it long to Simeopoulos. He raises the right hand, McIsaac. He takes the responsibility.
All off the back of one man. Delaney, they intercepted that little handball to advantage.
What a handball.
He's buggered. He didn't want the ball to come back to him because he couldn't get any air in. And it come back to him and he set the game up with the handball.
He threaded the eye of the needle with it.
You look at him, he just plays on instinct too.
McIsaac's kick 3. 45 metres out, slide angle to left half forward.
Kick 4.
He's kicked 4. Scores a level. 74 apiece, 11-8 apiece. 7 minutes gone for Community TV in the final term. McIsaac and Jones, 4 goals apiece for their squads. He's a momentum player, Charlie McIsaac. If you're an Old Xaverians fan, you're pretty happy with him getting on the scoreboard early in the final term, Hugo.
Just noticed Delaney's gone forward now, which is going to cause more problems for Scotch down there. But Woodhouse has gone into the ruck, and I've been watching Grant ever since that big collision at half-back. He's really struggling for breath at the moment here. So with that sort of knock, you'd expect Woodhouse to get on top of him here.
So here he goes. He tried to ride him and palm it down, but Grant stood his ground and did okay. Easton out of the tackle from Hansen. And Elaine is tackled there by Hayes inside the centre square. We'll have a ball up. Thrown in the air again. Grant fists it clear. Bodies came charging through. That was Gelbart and Bilston McGillen. Gelbart ends up with a free kick here for Scotch in the middle of the ground. Attacking to the scoreboard end in this final term. It's gone 8 minutes and it scores a level 74 apiece. He goes out wide here to Hayes to be in Highway side of the ground. He takes the mark for Scotch. Goes up towards half forward. In front, Hart pushed out of it by Clark. Hart really accentuated it, but gets the free kick anyway. And he takes it for Zavs, goes short into Ralph, and he marks just before Henry Brown could get there. So Ralph's got it, scores level, 74 apiece, 8.5 gone in this final term. Still plenty of time for both sides. Kick by Ralph was a beauty. Came out here and not took it. He goes towards Woodhouse and he takes the mark. So about 50 out from goal, squares it up to Lane. No one standing on him and he takes the mark. So Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Campbell Lane's got it. McIsaac makes a lead. Delaney makes a lead. He goes in Delaney's direction. Oh! Guidey from the back. Brought it to ground though. It was a great fly. Charlie McIsaac's got it. He went the handball. Kick smothered off the boot. Deep in the pocket here for Zavs. Dangerous times here for Scotch. Westcott, Lane goes to the top of the square. Delaney! Wow. Delaney's taken it.
Wow.
And he marks inside the goal square.
And plays on and kicks the goal.
There you go.
Look at him. Look at him. Give it to large Ed Delaney.
What a second half he's having, Ed Delaney. He kicks the goal. That was terrific play. They were working in tight angles there, Zavs. Lane on the end of it. Got a kick to Delaney, and he put it through.
Yeah, Hugo, you nailed it with Sam Grant there. I was watching him after you said that, I'm not sure if he's cooked because of the way Ed Delaney started in this game. He's still in the middle of the ground, but he looks like he's labouring. He didn't even get back inside to help out his defenders there. He's now going forward. Yeah. So I think he's just cooked from the effort that Ed Delaney gave in those first 5 or 6 minutes. Now Grant pushing forward to have a rest.
23 goals scored for the game. This has been a great game of footy today. Preliminary final.
A quality preliminary final. What a story Ed Delaney might be. He's had his moments. Up into the air we go, Woodhouse and Tarrant. So into our third string rucks just about for both squads. It's been that kind of game of footy. The Zavs take it away through Ralph, who kicks up for Knott. Brady riding shotgun, big fist over the top at half-back. The Old Scotch defender does well. Will be thrown in 50 metres from the Old Xaverians goal. Incidentally, gentlemen, if we are tied at the final siren, we will have extra time. 2 halves of 5 minutes plus time on. If scores are still level after that, a golden point rule will come into effect. Next score wins territory, just in case. 1 goal ball game at the moment. It's the Zavs on the William Buck scoreboard, 80-74. They lead it by 6 points. Back into play, Woodhouse spikes it forward with the right mitt. He's after Westcott, who's got Stavro, who's got an eye to the big sticks. Marcus Stavro, he kicks!
A goal!
He goals! The co-skipper! Marcus Stavro puts them 2 straight kicks clear. An icon of the Old Xaverians Football Club. They haven't won a final since 2016. They can smell it, the Zavs. 86 plays 74 on the William Buck scoreboard. For Community TV, we're 12 minutes down. Sorry, Daniel Ward for Hit IQ.
He's been fantastic this second half in particular. Great leadership. Really has willed himself from contest to contest. And a fantastic team lifting goal there from the co-skipper.
One of the goals of the day, Stavro. Down at the Glen Huntley Road end of the ground. Tarrant in the ruck up against Woodhouse. Got it down here to Easton. Handball out here to Hayes. Scotched under pressure now. They go back to Cormac, who goes up towards centre wing, and Farah came out in front of Goss and took the mark. He wanted it more than what Goss did. Farah marks and plays on. Inside 45 they go. Tom Dunn went, but he didn't raise the arms. Ball hits the deck. Inside 45 for Scotch. Jones goes in after it again. Tom Dunn, bottom of the pack. Tarrant tripped up, got the handball out. The umpires picked it. He saw him get tripped. And Tarrant in front of goal gets the shots.
And 50. And 50.
Well, there you go.
Put that down to Jones with his pressure and his attack on the footy.
It was great attack because he also got one high as he was going down, Jones, but he never gave up. Tarrant into goal and kicks it. That's his third of the afternoon. Margin back to a goal the difference.
So you look at that 50 there, Wardy. I know you'd be frustrated with that as a coach, as I would be, because it's gone from a not easy kicking distance to a dead set goal. So, in the context of the game, there's little things like that.
Yeah, and it's an emotional game, right? But you need to try and keep your head. Like we've said, there's some big moments coming up. There's already been some big moments in these 13 minutes. In the remaining 15 minutes or so, you need to be disciplined, keep your head, and take your moment.
So Guiney, Stavro and O'Sullivan, the starting midfield here for the Zavs. Gelbart, Lipscomb and Barter at the feet for Old Scotch. Tarrant into the ruck after kicking his third goal. After the footy at ground level, O'Sullivan tried to war him off the footy. Tarrant kept on going, handled it loose of the lane tackle. Picked up, though, by Guiney. Handball straight to Lipscomb. Awkward-looking kick inside 45. Rumbling up is Will Clark. He won't get there first. Hartwill wants the boundary line and gets it. What will the umpire say? Throw it in. Throw it in, to the dismay of the Old Scotch faithful.
Yes, like they were nailed to the cross out there. The arms were just like they were on the cross, just begging for forgiveness.
48 metres out from goal.
It's like you coming home at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Used to.
This will be thrown in at left half forward, the Pean Highway side, Nature Reserve side of Elsternwick Park. Grant's back into the ruck, left-handed. He sort of fires it down to Barter, escaped the Hanson tackle, got along the boundary line, the kick inside 50, Lipscomb marks. Right up against the boundary. Man of the mark is 40 metres out Campbell Lane. Arms are splayed. Lipscomb's going to have to kick it at least 46, 47 metres.
Into that breeze too, so the breeze will be blowing in his face out there.
Hasn't kicked a goal today. Just the 4 this year, Petchy, in senior footy. One of the few Old Scotch players to have played every game. He plays a role every week. Lipscomb, midfield, back, forward, you name it, he'll do it. He's got to play his role now in the finish. He crosses the 45-metre arc. He kicks it on goal. It's a high drop punt. It's fading in the breeze. It'll get right to the line. Delaney was there.
Great kick.
He flicked it through for a behind. Old Scotch moved to 12-9-81 on the William Buck scoreboard. The Old Xaverians 13-8-86. They lead it by 5 points. We're 15 minutes down for Community TV.
That was probably the best he had there, Jack Lipscomb. That was a great kick. It nearly sailed through. Here's Goss out of defence from the kick, and he goes to lane. He marks inside the 45-metre arc, Nature Reserve side. Goes short here to Ralph. And from defence, they work it to half, back out of side of the ground. 86 playing 81. Zavs have the lead. 15 gone in this final term. Ralph goes long. Grant there takes the mark. McIsaac wants the free kick. Grant plays on straight away. And Hamish McIsaac takes the mark in front of Lipscomb. Handball, heard the call, gave it to Ralph. Goes inside the centre square. Picked off there by Cormac. Handball, Tawney. Kick out wider here to the running Stubbings. He'll bend down, pick it up. Well, Shepard didn't have to be. Tarrant, he goes in that direction and marked it. In front of the scoreboard, you can see James leading out. A great lead and a great kick.
Yeah, I know Sam Grant missed that kick inside and it got cut off, but that's the way, that's what got him here. That's the way they're going to continue to play. Luckily enough, they got it back and then got it into Tarrant, but they need to keep pulling the trigger through the middle of the ground and taking those risks.
So Sam Grant just sucked it in. He had a bit of a spell. Now he's back into it. Here's Tarrant. Scoreboard side of the ground. Puts it on its way. Goes right across face. And Mark taken there by Clark. Oh, he read it beautifully as it drifted across. That was coming in 1,000,000 miles an hour. And he's taken another great mark. Plays on, goes around and kicked it. Oh, the crowd loved it. But it's a minor one.
Kicked it, did he?
He kicked it through for a point.
He kicked
it. A point.
You were watching the crowd, weren't you?
No,
Yes, you were.
no, I wasn't. I'm a ball watcher.
So
missed it anyway.
86-82, 4-point game. Cormac takes the intercept mark. On Community TV and SEN, we've got finals footy from the very top shelf. Cormac back inside the 45-metre arc. Where's Clark? No, got hands to it. Jones off the back. Banana to the goal mouth. Lane gets there. He got there. He marked it 2 metres out from the goal line. Jones looking for his fifth. Campbell Lane intercedes. Kicks it long to Pean Highway side. Lights on here at Elsternwick Park. Delaney. Another mark of the day contender for Sherrin. He's getting bigger. Ed Delaney, 80 metres out from his own defensive goal square. He's going to dump it in the Pean Highway side. Wants a leaper. Woodhouse is there. Jack Brown also. Doug Lawrence in the pack. No player could bring it down. Hayes and Knott will wrestle over it. The boundary line wins. He's thrown in attacking side of the Nepean Highway side wing for the Old Xaverians. On the William Buck scoreboard, it's the Zavs 86, Old Scotch 82. 18 minutes down in the final term for Community TV. Simon Petch.
So about to be thrown back in, outer side of the ground. Grant. He's got a fair piece on Delaney there, had a fair run at it. He palmed it down. Lipscomb can't pick it up. It bounced away from him. Then he did. He's brought the ground in a tackle and will have a ball up. Semiopolis doing the tackling there. So Nepean Highway side, Glen Huntley Road into the ground. Thrown in the air again. Grant looking for a free kick, not there. Hanson head over the football. Hayes straight in at him. Gave away a free kick for High and Hanson will take it. 4 points the margin. Zavs have the lead. Zavs have possession. We've gone 19 minutes in this final term. Hanson's got it. He just puts it inside 45. Grant at the back. Went the spoiling punch on. Not at work. Ball fell to ground. Players going after it. 45 out from Zavs goal. Oh, gee, Ganji got it to Lane. Great handball. Top of the square. And a fished away by Jack Brown over the line out of play. And deep in the right forward pocket. Glen Huntley Road into the ground. We'll have a ball in.
Yeah, McIsaac just slipped over slightly then, and I think he was just expecting to have contact, so mustn't have been any communication, otherwise he'd take the mark.
Glen Huntley Road into the ground, about to be thrown back in. 19 and a half gone in this final term. 4 points the margin. Zavs have the lead. Down at their end. Glen Huntley Road into the ground. Ball about to be thrown back in. Grant at the back. Got a hand a wave there from Woodhouse. Lawrence with the fisted punch. Down to Guiney into goal. Yes! No. Gee, the goal umpire had a real good look at that one. I wasn't willing at home, but gee whiz, that was a snap and a half.
Yeah,
a minor score there. It's an even goal the game.
Yes.
Not 5 points.
Geez, you're on fire at the
Gee,
moment.
that scoreboard's quick.
It's a very quick scoreboard.
Oh, it's an exciting game anyway. Very exciting.
We're into time on.
We are.
Cormac into the back pocket, so Scotch need a goal.
Who do you reckon's going to win, Petchy?
Dead eat.
Dead eat. Don't think we have them anymore.
Dead eat.
So Old Scotch,
Can't pick them.
Football's the winner here today.
Yeah.
This is just chipping short stuff along the Nepean Highway wing for the Cards. Have they got one more in them? Long down the line. Tarrant got a fly. Tregar did well. Impeded his marking attempts. Fennelly picks up the footy. Spreads it. Campbell Lane. Has he marked them in the field of play? Yes. Just millimetres in it. Campbell Lane's got a decision to make. Numbers stacked ahead of the footy. Does he try and swing this to the corridor? No. He takes a safe option. Down the line. Hansen, he was expecting contact. He couldn't hold on to the mark. He'll lay a tackle and hold up the footy 50 metres out from the Old Xaverians goal.
Campbell Lane been enormous this last quarter. Gets a lot of footy and is really giving them great drive.
Right half forward, it's thrown in the air. Guiney again a snap. This one's straight up and down. It'll travel inside the 45-metre arc. Cormac back with the flight. O'Sullivan was there. Neither could take the mark. Westcott's handball is cut down and Scotch through. Easton will rebound. It's a high, aimless kick. It goes into the crowd. It's coming back. Out of bounds on the full. So the Old Xaverians take it over. Nepean Highway wing. Guiney, who's had a busy 5 minutes. 5-point ball game. 21.5 down for Community TV, short to Hamish McIsaac. No space inside 50 for the Zavs forwards to operate in. They want Charlie McIsaac. This kick will carry him. Delaney nearly brought it down. He went for a massive right head. He got his hands to it. They four-top the ball 15 metres out. It'll be thrown in the air.
And Grant, the last one getting up after all of that too. He rode him, but he couldn't hold on to it. Thrown in the air again. Both rucks go at it, didn't go at it, and Guiney sees it over the boundary line. So it's down at the right end here for Zavs.
It is. You can see Delaney's confidence growing minute by minute. He's flying for everything, having a crack at everything.
He's been very, very well played in this last half of the game. Ed Delaney's played a very good last half.
Skins player of the day, Petchy?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Bit of work for you, Wardy.
Put your eye on someone else.
Leave it with.
Thrown back in. Glenn Huntley rode into the ground. Grant fists it outside 45. It kept rolling. Lane gets there. Tawney was there. Delaney again dropped the footy. And a free kick going Scotch's way. 22.5 gone in this final term. 5 points the margin. Zavs have the lead. A kick off the side of the boot. McIsaac, he's got to beat two of them. He palms it inside 45. Gelbart palmed it back here. And Jack Brown got it up here to Stubbings. And he marks here for Scotch. 5 points the margin. 22.5 gone in this final term. Stubbings has the lead. Stubbings has the ball. Zavs have the lead. Kick towards centre wing. Up they go. Fished away there by Woodhouse. It came nearly into the centre of the ground. Gelbart ended up with it. Kick smothered off the boot. Stavro a handball inside dangerously. It'll work okay. Guiney there. I heard the call from Ralph, but gave the wrong handball. Came out back here to Lawrence. Handball into the centre of the ground. It didn't sit well there for Brown. He got it back up here to Noblet, who then go to Hayes. Because Scotch go forward inside 45. Mark dropped there by Tom Dunn. Handball back to Stavro, who clears the danger zone. Hamish McIsaac and Ralph out there.
He finds Lane, does Ralph by hand. His kick, they need an uncontested mark. The Zavs, they'll get one. Fennelly sprawling on his chest. Defensive side of the wing, Nepean Highway side. 24 minutes down. Final term footy. It's the Zavs by 5 points on the William Buck scoreboard. Fennelly kicks it as long and as high as he can muster. Guiney's in the pack. Cormac comes across the front. Wasn't paid the mark. Tackled off the handball. The umpire holds the whistle. It went over the boundary line. Bound to Raj Johnston, who's on the boundary. Raj, what have you got?
A few drops of rain starting to hit at ground level, Paddy.
Thank you for that, Raj. So another added complexion to this wonderful preliminary final. Who does it favour, Hugo, quickly for Hit IQ?
At the moment, I think it's the Zavs. I think got a little bit of momentum in the last couple of minutes, right? The last three entries.
Grant has Woodhouse for company on the throw-in, so Old Scotch should have the advantage as the ball arcs to earth. Guiney couldn't control it from the resumption. Woodhouse, big tackle. Stoppage after stoppage is the name of the game now for the Zavs with 24.5 down.
Played a lot of front half footy the last couple of minutes too.
Thrown back in the air by the official, 60 metres from the Xaverians goal. Noblet toes it forward for Old Scotch, though, into the centre square. They all go desperately sprawling after it. Fennelly found lane. Back inside 50, he kicks to open space. One-on-ones they are. Reaching for the footy and tapping it onwards was Cormac. He got Stubbings. Handball over the shoulder, no good. McIsaac taken high. Charlie will take the free. 55 metres from goal, he plays on, he runs the arc. He kicks to the top of the square and beyond. It'll bounce, it'll pitch, it'll roll out of play. It'll roll out of play beside the behind post. Right forward pocket for the Old Xaverians.
It's better than a point there for Zabs because that's still a stoppage in their forward pocket there.
Yes,
so
this is what they're good at, isn't it? They can just bury the footy and keep it buried.
Yeah, they set up really well behind the footy.
Yep.
Campbell Lane, Stavru, some guys that have played a lot of footy, helping to set them up on field.
So down at the right end here for Zabs, we've gone 25.5 in this final turn. They lead the way. Grant to the front of the pack. Lawrence will see it over, or he kept it in. No, he kept it in, then it went out. We'll have a ball in. 5 points the margin. Zabs have the lead. 13-9-87, 12-10-82 Scotch. 25 goals scored for the game. It's been a great game of footy. 26 minutes has elapsed now in the final term. No one in the box prepared to call who's into the grand final next week. No one prepared to do that at all at this stage of the game. McIsaac has another go. He goes right across the face, out towards the left forward pocket, and Ganji sees it over and will have a ball in. Anyone prepared to have a go here?
No. They need to try and get this out. Stating the obvious, Scotch, but they need to try and get this out and get it in the open space and get it down the other end.
So to be thrown in here, they need to get this footy, Daniel Ward. They need some clean ball. Old Scotch. Simeopoulos dragged off it by Noblet, takes the tackle. They're happy with the stoppages inside 45, the Zavs. Scotch just need to throw some numbers through this footy, just force it through, force it out by any means necessary. Deep inside 45 for the Old Xaverians, the handball loose. Noblet over the top, here they come, the Scotchies. Stubbings with clean space, one more handball and they're probably through with Tarrant. It bounced in front of him, over he goes to Walsh and he shepherds for him, Tarrant. Walsh's kick along the boundary line, up it goes. Farah had to play from behind, forced to spoil. Knocked it out of play, attacking side of the wing, broadcast side for Old Scotch, Daniel Ward for Hit IQ.
Yeah, that's their way out. Chain it out with the hands, run, carry, try and get an overlap, get out the back.
They're out in their feet here at Elsternwick Park, 27 minutes down for Community TV. Delaney's been magnificent. He slaps it to Westcott from the ruck and Westcott just tumbles it inside 50. Brady underneath it with Knott. They knock into each other. They both fell over. Woodhouse takes it. O'Sullivan, shut the gates! O'Sullivan's kicked his third. The Zavs 93, Old Scotch 82. 2-goal ball game. 28 minutes down in the final term. The Old Zavs have 1 foot in the grand final. 14-9 to 12-10. 28 minutes gone.
Just the advantage there of that bit of forward line pressure and that surge, that overlap run, but some really good... Because just before Scotch are out with that chain of hands, and then there's that errant kick to the 50-50 up the line. I think it was even a 2-on-1, and just be able to hold it up.
Still not over yet. Grant fists it outside the centre square. Barter straight onto it. No, Gelbar got there first. Farah in the goal! And he's got it! So as quick as you can blink, Scotch kicked the goal out of the middle. Grant, that was terrific by him. He stands in the middle of the ground with his hands on his knees. That's all he can do. And Farah swooped like a seagull and picked that one up and shot a goal directly in front.
What a game of football. What a game of football this is. Daniel Ward and Hugo Higginbotham.
Yeah, then he got dragged. So great effort to score that goal. They got Brown back on. Great tap out of the middle of the ground from Grant.
Back to 5 points. 93 plays 88, 29 gone at Elsternwick Park at the preliminary final. Grant just punches it forward. Same play. Ralph stood strong. Gave it to Guiney under Barter pressure. Guiney folds underneath the tackle. It'll be thrown up at centre-half forward for Old Scotch.
Not sure who's... it's Delaney again. He just needs to make sure that Grant doesn't whack the footy 20 metres like he has the last couple of times.
Let's see what he does this time. It's again Grant, but straight to Ganji. Kicked it in one step to Westcott, to Guiney. Up and under ball towards centre-half forward. 2-on-1. Old Scotch favoured. Brady, second attempt, he marks. Needs to get it forward, James Brady. Gets underneath the kick just a little bit to Stubbings, who read the flight of the ball well. He's a left footer. He needs to move this ball forward. 29.5 gone.
88 plays 93, Scotch down by 5 points. Their premiership defence rests upon these next few minutes. Easton.
Got to move it. Got to move it.
Defensive side of the wing. One more up the line to Barter. Uncontested so far. He's 2 kicks from home. On the William Buck logo here. For Community TV, Ollie Barter drives it long. Who's he got it right half forward? Big fist from Guiney. Noblet takes it. He spins away from Westcott. He kicks it inside 50. Here comes James Tarrant. It dribbles away. Tregar will track it. He'll run over the boundary line. The field umpire says throw it in beneath the scoreboard. 30 minutes down. 93 plays 88. A goal from Old Scotch would put them in front.
Just about every player inside this fourth 45 arc here for Scotch. Look at the crowd behind the goals here. They're willing their side home. Clark at the back. Woodhouse grabs it. Pack of players here. Gelbart there. Applied a high tackle. And a free kick going Zav's way out of all that. And who gets up? Fennelly gets up with it. So down in the last line of defence, 30 and a half gone final term, 5 points the margin. Zavs have the lead. Kick up to centre wing, fished away by Grant from Knott. It fell down here. Handball along the ground. Lipscomb goes in. Handball along the ground. Ganji picked up. He goes in through the middle. It'll work. There's no one inside 45 for Zavs. Umpires let the play go. Another free kick. Free kick coming Scotch's way. So a free kick against O'Sullivan, and Hayes takes it for Scotch.
He's caught holding the ball. Hayes quickly to Easton. Got to go now, Old Scotch. Brody goes deep. Will Clark is there. He reaches. He doesn't bring it down. Delaney's back there. Being magnificent all day. The Old Xaverians defence repels. Ganji at 45 metres out from his defensive goal. Tackles Stubbings. The handball goes out of play. 55 metres out from the Old Scotch goal. 31 and a half down for Community TV. 93 plays 88. The Zavs by 5 points. Blood rule. Will get a stoppage. They are out on their feet, Daniel Ward. They are cooked, both squads.
Yeah, not sure how long to go, but obviously, Zav's trying to shut this down, keep it in nice and tight. Scott's trying to open it up, get Grant to knock it out wide and get the play going their way.
Hamish McIsaac off the ground with a bloody nose. Who can take their moment here? Woodhouse and Grant. Woodhouse down to the front. Bilston McGillen up and under, straight to Townsend of Old Scotch. They'll get a go here, the Cards. Townsend, indiscriminate, inside 50. Tarrant or Clark, big fist over the top. Easton will come up to it. Stubbings kicks it up and under. Lane stands underneath the high ball. Jones! Take it! He's kicked 5! Angus Jones! Old Scotch in front by a point!
What an attack on the footy.
He's been brilliant all day. Natty trying to get as many behind the footy as he can. They're obviously, I think they must know, they can't be too long to go at all. Maybe less than 30 seconds, I would say.
So Scotch have hit the front. It's a point the margin. 33 minutes gone in this final term. And have a look at the players out on the ground now. Cameras all on Mark Nat. Grant out of the centre circles, no. Held up by Hanson inside. Barter applied a great tackle.
Been brilliant.
And we'll have another ball up. Oh, they've hit the front. Jones has done it for them. Down inside the centre square again. Fist away, and Ganji holds up Brown. And Henry's got to give it back. 33 and a half gone final term. Scotch lead by Scotch are into a grand final. Oh, the last kick of the day by Angus Jones has put Scotch into a grand final. And have a look at them charge onto the ground. And have a look at the Zavs players. They cannot believe it. They cannot believe the last kick of the day has won the game for Scotch.
Well, it was an amazing effort there by Jones. He was held for about a quarter and a half, and just when the moment came, he stood up. And the scenes here are amazing.
He deserves that, Jones. He's been brilliant. I saw him last week. We gave him best on last week, and he's come and he's kicked the sealer. He's kicked 5 goals and been a constant threat all day. Fantastic for a young kid like that to step up in 2 finals in a row is, great character for the kid.
Our Skins Player of the Day wins a pair of cutting-edge Skins compression tights thanks to Skins, the pioneers of compression. We'll be speaking to Angus Jones shortly. Raj Johnston will make his way into the storm that has erupted here at Elsternwick Park. And a note that the Under-19s Holmes Glen Premier Grand Final follows us. We'll have a few minutes with you just to wrap it all up here at Elsternwick Park before we hand it over to Cal Cummins, Brent Sternberg and the team to watch that game. Just hit refresh in your browser in a moment. If you'd like to watch this game but you don't have a Community TV subscription, head to communitytv.com.au and buy a monthly pass. It is Old Scotch and Old Brighton in the grand final, as it was last year, a 2024 grand final rematch. Scotch have come outside the top two. They were done. We were talking about them in a relegation race this year, the Cards, in the last few weeks of the home and away season. Angus Jones has kicked 8 goals across the final series. He has kicked the biggest goal of his life to put Old Scotch into the grand final. Scenes of pure delirium here at Elsternwick Park, the home of the Amos. Fans, family members, players, coaches, volunteers as far as the eye can see.
Grown men crying out there, as I always say.
Angus Jones has kicked 5 goals. 3 each to Taryn and Clark, 2 for Farrell, 1 to Galvin for Old Scotch. For the Zavs, McIsaac, that's Charlie, kicked 4. Jack O'Sullivan, 3. 2 for Delaney and Woodhouse. Singles for Connor Dunn, Stavro and Ben Bilston McGillen. Raj Johnston is just trying to extract Angus Jones from the pack. He's embracing his coach, Mark Nat. The number 49 will live on in history, no matter what happens on Friday, for what he's done today. The young man, you speak to those down at Camberwell Sports Ground, you hear a story about a young man who spent such a long time making his way through to this level.
Wow.
They're all embracing him. This is a remarkable scene.
You feel for Zabs, you really do. No side deserved to lose today, so you know that's the tough part of footy. Last kick of the day.
Yeah, no, the Sabs had thrown extra behind the ball and Scotch went with them. So they have 7-man forward line there, but just that dangerous ball into that high spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that last contest was. Campbell Lane would have marked it uncontested. May have been Cormac. I couldn't see who it was that brought the ball to ground for Jones to kick that goal. But that summed up Scotch and the way that the game was played all day.
But you know what happened too? Grant lifted in the ruck. He was getting all those forward taps.
Yeah.
And that gave them that momentum to move forward.
And credit to him because Ed Delaney, took it to him and
Nelly player of the day.
Yeah, Nelly was.
Player of the day is Angus Jones. You'll see a chat with him across VAFA socials during the week. Quickly before we say goodbye, Hugo Higginbotham, our mark of the day for Sharon. Who'd you have?
I had James Tarrant for that. I thought that was an excellent mark in the third quarter.
And goal of the day is for GYG. Daniel Ward, your selection?
Let's give it to Marcus Stavru for the goal that he kicked in the last quarter.
Totally agree, Daniel. Totally agree with that one.
2024 grand final rematch. Old Scotch by a point over the Old Xaverians with the last kick of the day for Angus Jones. 94-93. They'll take on the Tunners on a public holiday classic next Friday afternoon. My name's Paddy Grindlay from Simon Petch, Hugo Higginbotham, Daniel Ward and Raj Johnston. It's goodbye from Elsternwick Park.
This has been the SEN Match of the Day. Thanks to William Buck. Join us again next week on the SEN app, sen.com.au and vafa.com.au.
Hey guys, introducing GYG's $12 chicken